we would prefer to not have kids on the continuum of risk, if at all possible. But we recognize that's not possible because kids are kids, and there's many, many, many reasons why they choose to do different types of things. I started saying that, we wish, at least from the FDA's perspective, that kids were not entering into the continuum of harm, but once they're there, how do we care for them? And, our messaging is prevention based. And so we're trying, we certainly acknowledge that teens are teens and that they are experimenters. If we get asked a specific question by a teen, either a direct message to us or via social media about the relative harms of vaping versus cigarettes, we try to be as clear as possible that if your comparator is a cigarette, vaping is less harmful. But vaping alone, especially if you've never been a cigarette user, vaping alone is not benign. And so we try to give them that frame of reference. And what I would say is kids are incredibly smart. I'm sure both of these gentlemen, I'm sure, see that. And they have a crap detector a mile wide. Like if we were to message proactively to teens that vaping is not as harmful as smoking, there are people on both sides of that argument, right? Mm-hmm. One is you could just give them the facts and let them make the decisions. The other side of the argument is then you're getting rid of all the protective factors and you're kind of giving them license to use. And so, we have not tried to tackle that directly in any of our proactive messaging. But when we get questions specifically in social or direct message, that's when we have that one-on-one dialogue.
Right.
Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
I learned it by watching you. Hey people, how's it going? It is Friday, and unlike last Friday, it's not my anniversary, so I can be here tonight. Last Friday was the wedding anniversary, and you guys just you had to be responsible for entertaining yourselves. So anyway, there's people here. I see people. There's Tom and Mallory and Cerny. Mistwalker is here, and Omicidal is here, and I'm scrolling to see D-Stat. D-Stat is here. Tom Morowitz. Nick Orlando is in the Facebook. Shame on you, Nick, for being in the Facebook. Mowgli. Some nerd named Kevin is here as well. There's people. Hello, people. But anyway, I'm running late. I was running late building the show, so there's links that you guys are going to have to rely on. Kevin is going to be assigned his new job for tonight. Any links that we share in the show that are not already in the show notes, you will find on Kevin's Twitter live during the show. I'm giving him homework. Steve is here as well. Hello, Steve. But let's just, I was late sending the link to Kevin. Normally I would bitch and moan that Kevin was late. It's my fault this time. It's my fault.
I got multiple bones to pick with you. It's all right.
Why are you so quiet?
Can you hear the air?
I can hear the air, you are very quiet behind the air.
Hold on, how's that? 1, 2.
Oh, the air just got really loud.
We're right. So how about now?
But your voice stayed exactly the same.
I'll pull this closer. Can you hear me now?
Did you pull the pop filter closer or the microphone closer?
The mic. How about now?
Are you sure? Because your voice is still quiet. I think you have to turn the AC off.
She's still awake. That's not going to happen. So I can go. This is at 1:30.
Get very close to your microphone like this.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Hey, that was much louder.
All right, so if I do this, and I do that, and then I do this, you're able to hear me.
I can hear you as well as the in the background. See, Kevin's got a boomer and Ruin and ruin the quality of the. Are you on the correct microphone?
I am. I'm on the correct
Are you on the
microphone.
camera mic, or are you on the expensive mic that I bought you?
I'm on the expensive mic, believe me.
Because now the teeth are chattering in the background now too.
What are you talking about?
Does everybody else hear like the little teeth chattering?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a in the background now.
That might be the fan over there. I don't know, but she's still here.
It just stopped. See, even Andrew heard it.
Hey, you got one of these, right?
I have several of them. Yes, I have that.
Did you read the back of that fucking thing?
You actually expect me to read stuff?
Oh, see, well, you do that in your time. This is our time.
What am I supposed to read? Tell me what it says that is upsetting you.
You didn't read it?
No.
Now you're gonna make me get my magnifying
It's probably
glass.
very small print, and I wear trifocals.
It says something about depression and other stupid shit that they just said. Oh, let's put that on there so the FDA will. Never mind.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
they actually, unlike JUUL, they got their orders to market. They can. Oh, there's the chattering teeth again.
I have no idea what you're talking about. It's probably me for not having enough nicotine.
No, it's there. You've got static in your line.
No,
Unplug your microphone and replug your microphone.
Unplug and replug. Let's see. Where's it at? Unplug. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Let's try this.
Aha!
Aha! You're right, I was not plugged in correctly.
You're a dumbass.
Well, that goes to show.
Now go into your settings under the thingy there and go to microphone and make sure it selects the correct one.
Hang on,
I did an entire live stream the other night on the comic book channel where it was using my secondary camera mic instead of this fancy schmancy mic. So even I am not perfect.
Well, you already knew that.
Yes.
So how was your anniversary?
It was expensive. It was expensive. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Is that better?
Holy crap, that is
Hold on.
that is somewhat better.
It's somewhat better. So we'll go 130 here. 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's a little better. Go 135.
135. Bing, bang, boom, bop, bip, pow.
Yeah, that's better.
Smack. See, I can see my... There. Now, if Mike's in the room, which I did not see. Hey, Steve.
Mike? No, Mike is not in the room. But
I've
Chris Big Knowledge Garland is making fun of you.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I did this once before, if you recall, and Mike made all kinds of memes about how to plug stuff in. And
Yeah. That was the time that you kept arguing with me that it was plugged in. So now I have the habit of just telling you to unplug it and replug it, and then
That's
when you
right.
realize,
So there's a clown, Scuffed Andy. Look at that.
yeah,
I like that.
he says potatoes.
Is that Andrew?
No, Andrew is Andrew.
Andrew's still Andrew? All right.
Yes, Andrew is Andrew K.
What is this assigning me bullshit? What are you talking about?
So but Mallory just says that she heard that JUUL got a stay from their MDO, and she's looking for the source. Apparently, she doesn't have Twitter because the court filings are all over Twitter.
It's
It's everywhere. It's literally. I could open Twitter right now and go to my home page thingy, my feed.
Just go JUUL.
And it would be like in the first 20 tweets. Connolly tweeted it. A bunch of people have tweeted it. Yeah. So, yeah. Steve says that you need to be even louder.
Mm-hmm. I like louder. Wait a minute. Let me get my little paper.
You hold up your little sign.
Well, I got my drink sign.
But you also, yeah. You should probably get down on that microphone, my friend. You got to front on that mic. You got to get real close.
I only have so much space, Mr. Rife. There's no...
I'm just telling you what Steve says.
You wait till I get my own room, then you're gonna know.
You know what's gonna. No, that's never gonna happen. You know that, right?
She said, "Keep wishing."
See?
So I got this, and then I looked on their little thing because it was brought to my attention of what it said back there, and I thought, well, hell, who's gonna read this friggin' thing?
It's very small.
What? So then I got on the site.
That's what she said.
And there it was. It was. They're using the talking points of.
Yeah, no, they got
silly motherfuckers.
They did get their marketing orders.
I know. And I'm going to say the exact same thing about this that I did about the J word. It's too strong for me. I didn't
like the regular tobacco in that, but I did like the menthol.
The tobacco
in
tasted
that.
like.
Now the tobacco in the daily I liked better.
Hey, Pappy. The tobacco flavor tasted like the old tsunami that I enjoyed when I first started out.
Yeah,
that's what it was like. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
too strong.
I have adjusted Kevin's settings to the maximum, Andrew K, and I think that he's just a boomer.
All right, now I'm at 200. So that if you
that's as high as it'll go.
I don't know what else to say.
Now that sounds perfect. Like what you just did, that sounds perfect.
I'm uncomfortable doing this. Kevin, your mic's still not working. Okay.
No, it's what you kicked him out, guys. You've hurt Kevin's feelings, and I think he unplugged himself. I can't adjust my settings. My settings are what they are. I don't have that option. Swallow that mic, Kev. Yeah, I think just Kevin needs to restart because his microphone wasn't plugged in.
There. How's that? Is that better? Bing, bang, boom.
It's slightly better. Let me double check what your mic settings are again.
So where did you go? Where'd you go on your?
We went out to dinner at a very expensive restaurant.
Good. Did you buy her flowers?
No. I bought her plant. A plant is better.
Mallory.
See, again, perfect volume. Perfect volume right there.
That's perfect?
Yes.
Andrew.
Come back, Shane. Shane.
What's the matter, Timmy?
That's a good movie, actually. I like Shane. So we had some Twitter hijinks. I'm gonna go to the Twitter stuff.
There was some trouble. Which one you hitting first?
Oh, let's start with the ex-Surgeon General. How about that?
All right, so I'm gonna have a hold on. Let me.
Yeah, no, I gotta share screen here. Just
is this the shared thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I sent you. I put all the tweets that I wanted to in our private group so that I could find them easily.
Yeah. Well.
So Steve says that you sound much better now.
Okay, wonderful. I have a
so enemy of everybody that is intelligent. Jerome Adams, who used to be the Surgeon General, is no longer the Surgeon General. He posts on Twitter, and because I don't like him, I still see his tweets all the time. So he says, so I have a conundrum. For health reasons, I'm trying to incorporate more fish into my diet when eating out. Eating what out? Oh, sorry. Eating who out? No. Anyway, There's this place near me that has a salmon dish that I love. The problem is they also serve the best margarita I've ever had. So is this a net up or a net down? And I did want to know, is that what you were drinking the entire time you were the Surgeon General? That explains a lot. And then Richard Pruin says, flavors, are you sure? I think plain gruel and ethanol and water might be more suitable. Yeah. So I'm 100% sure that Jerome doesn't see my tweets anymore.
No.
He probably he's had me muted for a long time since the very embarrassing time. The only time that he ever responded to me and I essentially pulled his pants down in public and showed that he was an idiot. Because then he immediately tweeted that people were hurting his feelings.
Feelings and snippets and
you guys hurt my feelings. My feelings are hurt.
Feelings.
I'm triggered. But there was another one. There's two Jerry tweets.
I linked the first
because
one
if Trump gets reelected, this guy could be Surgeon General.
Will you shut up?
He could be. It could be just like the current Surgeon General is a repeat of the of the last time. So,
well, we've gone from moron to moron.
This one really annoyed the shit out of me, though. So this was shared with me today. A school superintendent in rural Indiana expressed concern about vaping in their kindergarten population. The school has attempted parent education, but the feedback is that most parents aren't concerned because they use it to calm their children.
What?
So then he tweets him. He replies to his own tweet. And he says the vitriol and denial from vape advocate begins in 3, 2. Yeah. And then he says this is among the top problems reported regarding kids in Indiana communities. We have to understand, agree, and be willing to say that it's safer for some adults doesn't mean it's not a problem for kids. I don't disagree that kids probably shouldn't, but it's still better than smoking.
D-stat, do tell.
But please explain to me how a kindergarten, how is so rampant in kindergarten.
Now I got to look at his tweet.
And that, parents are responding, I'm giving it to my kid to calm them down, is not some sort of
no, they're not
instance where CPS would be called. But because I used to work with kids and CPS was all up in everybody's shit. So
full of shit.
Yeah. And then it says also lots of comments about this one is child abuse. One, people have been told over and over that vaping is safe for adults and it is safer than cigarettes. Too many parents don't have the resources, options, education, or tools to deal with anxious and depressed children. I don't, that's not inaccurate that, kids are anxious and depressed and need to be treated properly. And the agitation for some is likely withdrawal. Again, kindergartners.
First of all.
So again, I replied. I had to reply. It says, as far as vitriol, I'm going to direct it at the parents who obviously are breaking the law to purchase a vape and encourage their kindergartner to use it. This is a failure in parenting, and they should be punished. As for you, Jer, your lack of outrage and excuse making is comic.
It is comical.
Yeah. So then Jonathan Fold says that I suspect that this statement is about as likely to be true and accurate as a reflection of what is going on in rural Indiana as I'm likely to be the real Elvis Presley and about to star in a movie about myself, or they're confusing e-cigs with binkies. And look at Jerome. Jerome rolls his eyes.
He rolls his eyes because he's a dumb shit.
He is a dumb shit.
First of all, I've yet to meet a parent that said they're going to give how old's kindergarten? 6? A 6-year-old a vape. There's no parent to, well, I can't say there's no parent. I'm just saying I've never heard of it in all my days.
Now, I mean, I haven't been to every trailer park in Indiana, but
you know what Jerry needs is to see the people more. You know, he's doing it for his mama. Yeah, we knew that, and he's got about 14 billion other 0.002 point. I'm glad you kept scrolling in the middle of my babbling, because you know what? How is it likely vaping is out of control in kindergartens? Does he respond to Jonathan Folds, who I love to hate and hate to love? No, he does not.
Jonathan Folds is problematic sometimes.
Yeah, well,
but he is also.
I appreciate him. I appreciate him. I'm right dead on the line on it.
So then Mika Cifuentes says nothing in this linked study suggests that it's impossible that an Indiana school superintendent is concerned about vaping among children. The out of control description is an insertion on your part.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan says there was a claim trying to educate parents, and parents replying that they use e-cigarettes to calm their kids, i.e., that attempts to control this major problem were not working. The question is whether superintendent's concerns were based on real widespread kindergarten vaping.
Here's what I think. I think Jerry had a margarita on the way to talk to the superintendent. That's what I think. So fuck him and his stupid ass.
Yeah. And Chris, our very good friend Chocoholic, says, I guess smoking cigarettes in school is a non-issue. And then Charlie says, here's how it works. First, we prime the public and experts to demonize nicotine. Today, for example, 80% of U.S. doctors believe incorrectly that it causes cancer, heart disease, and lung disease when we claim kindergartners are vaping nicotine. Right. And on we go.
Somebody.
And then, yeah. Well,
yes, I am.
It's not widespread. I'm sure. I'm sure that maybe 1 or 2 kindergartners somewhere might have access to steal mom and dad's vape.
Jerry blocked me. Jerry, by all means, has blocked me. Somebody tell him or ask him if those kids should be tased or, to that effect for me. Would you? I'd appreciate it. Because fuck you. Well, no, I mean, kindergartners should be able to be tased just as well as a high school kid. I don't understand what the difference would be.
Well,
they're doing bad things. Please tell me this is made up. Look at him. He's quoting himself.
He's quote tweeting himself. That's verification. That's verification there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a narcissistic twat. Jerry, please come on the show.
Helen Redmond is even asking for confirmation. She wants sources.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Mr. St. James.
Even Coley pops in here. John St. James. Can't not be curious about how much or little funding said superintendent has received for the district, to combat the epidemic.
Yeah. Actually, this is actually pretty funny because I don't get to see these.
Peter's asking if it's 5-year-olds vaping cannabis or nicotine.
Oh, not a bot. Can any of you point to me where having Jerry as the Surgeon General was not problematic?
I'm just wondering. I gotta know. This is an interesting thread, and we've got doctors in here talking about mental illness issues in kids. Hey, Richard's in the room. Richard, we've highlighted you already in this Twitter thread.
Twice.
See, this is where he quote tweeted himself earlier.
With knowledge of parents and adults.
Oh, here, there's a Jerry is a twit.
Oh, I got that on under Tara. I saw Tara's tweet and I was like, I don't even know what it is. Oh, I did. I did know what his original tweet was because of that. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, he's saying there's a huge problem And then Patrick is highlighting that little snippet because Jerry loves snippets. And it's best not to use frequent daily use as metrics because we want to know about potential, and potential breeds stupidity and narratives. And that's what they want. They want narratives. They want you to think that, there's an epidemic in fucking kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Yeah. So.
And it.
That was just. You don't need to go there. It's one of three.
Yeah, I mean, Chris has got a good point. He says that he's also concerned about 5-year-olds taking their parents' cars out for joyrides.
That's right.
It keeps him up at night.
I took my 5-year-old to get him to sleep in a joyride.
Yes.
And when was the last time?
Give him the keys of the car.
No, I didn't. I never expected Jerry to tell me what the fuck to do to my kid. So,
well,
little birdie, kiss my ass.
Kiss your ass.
I didn't realize the 5-year-old was taking the parents' car. I don't remember that one.
Now, I did, along with the massive numbers of kids that are apparently vaping.
All 6 of them left yet.
Paul Blair says, never forget that there are more than 13 million adults in the U.S. who vape. People who have taken their own health into their own hands, and banning life-saving technology is public health and political malpractice. Now, anytime somebody mentions numbers, I perks my ears up.
Yep.
But so, I did have to respond. I says, your estimate of 13 million adults gets trumped by the anti-vaping liars with their hyperbolic 100 million nicotine addicted kindergartners. And if you blink, that number will double in the next speech by Durbin or Schumer or Pelosi or Bloomberg or Glanz. Because God knows every time I hear a number of the percentage of kids that vapes, that number gets bigger and bigger and bigger every time a politician quotes it.
Yes.
So yeah, there. I have to point out the BS because obviously, and there's no doubt in my mind that there are kids that are using these products.
Sure there are. Of course there are. You know how we already
have a clip from the FDA admitting that they know that kids will experiment with things that they know that they're not supposed to do.
Of course they do.
But is that number habitual users? Is that one-time users? Is that I used it once a year ago? Is that I used it once 30 days ago? I use it every day because my life is so awful? I need something to make it better.
Did you want me to do something else? I quit smoking. I stole them from Dad.
I that's where I got my cigarettes. My first cigarettes I stole from my dad because I didn't want to steal my mom's because my mom's had little flowers on the filter, and I didn't want those are not cool.
That's so ladylike. Well,
and they were so small. The circumference, they were so small that you had to I didn't have enough suck to enjoy that cigarette.
That's what she said. Now, were they like Virginia Slims or something like that?
I think they were called Eve.
Oh yeah.
I think they were called Eve cigarettes, and they had flowers around the filter, and they were a smaller.
Capris. Janice had Capris for a little while.
And these ones, if you laid them down, they were designed to put themselves out.
Oh, okay. Well,
those were not cool.
I'd like to put Jerry. Are we all done with him now?
For now.
Oh, fuck. Vivek's no better, mind you, but he's quiet. Somebody probably said, "Don't say a fucking word." He hasn't said much.
Who, Vivek?
Yeah. This
So,
time.
no, I have a tweet. I'll show you. I'll show you another tweet.
All right. Did you link it?
Yes. This is from Mark's
Mark.
Pens.
Yeah.
Mark has been around for a long time. Mark is a woodworker, and he used to make really cool, custom wood e-vaporizer thingies, vape pen thingies.
I got one of his keychains.
And he just said, sometimes I just want to smack people beside the head and say, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you so stupid? And then my response was, my hand hurts just thinking about all the smacking.
Yes.
That was unrelated to the topic, but I just,
The keychain I bought from him was it was a button and but my box or something. Be the better.
Why are you botting?
That's what it was.
I can't hear you.
I don't know why I'm botting, but it said be the better motherfucker.
Oh, be the better motherfucker. Yeah,
I don't know if you saw those or remember them but whatever. But no, Mark doesn't pop up a lot, but there's his tweet. I would follow.
Oh no, I follow him because he has the Church of Wood.
Yeah,
because he does awesome woodworking.
Yeah,
regular woodworking in addition to
yes.
back in the day making mods. But
yes,
I have a mod stand that he made in my cabinet over here somewhere.
Sweet, even better.
Yeah,
true.
So I guess we need to address. Yes, I have those.
I just saw somebody that I like. What? I don't like you. I like everybody else.
Oh well. Yeah.
What do you want to address?
The elephant in the room.
Which one?
Well, apparently, people are all fired upset on the Twitters about JUUL's.
Good.
JUUL getting an MDO.
Yeah.
So, let me scroll. Let me find the proper link to the. Oh, it actually might be in the. Let me go to the actual Facebook. I may have actually put that in there. I did.
You did.
So, actually, I have this on video though. Let's share a video.
Fine.
Video file. Let me go to video file. Why is this so slow? Here. Let's open this one. This is from a British news channel.
Sound.
Is banning the sale of all products by JUUL, which is one of the top e-cigarette makers. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, says it doesn't have enough data to be sure that marketing the product is appropriate for the protection of public health.
Now, the verbiage there is that marketing, not that the product itself,
right,
is appropriate for the protection of public health.
You're the first person to say it.
Marketing of the product is appropriate for the protection of public health.
Uh-huh.
Now, to be clear, when 4 years ago, JUUL had a very large chunk of the market.
Yeah.
They no longer have a huge chunk of the market. And especially in the pre-21 age group. What is that number, Kevin? Do you remember right off the top of your head?
Which number?
What the JUUL market share in kids is now?
Today?
Well, yeah.
I think 30 to 8. I don't remember for sure if it's 11.2 total or JUUL itself was like 2%, maybe?
Yeah, it's 2.
Is it 2? Okay, I wasn't sure of the total of which total you meant, but JUUL, I think itself, and I would have to find that. I don't know where it is. It is
no longer the toy
near it.
The vape of choice in American high schools.
Do you know why, Patrick? Do you know why?
Because they're not cool. I don't know.
Well, because I'm too cool for JUUL, despite the continuing clear and obvious advertising done on media like that. Now they're across the pond. I don't care about them, but despite that, and despite the continuous use of the word, because it's been JUUL since 2017, I guess. Hey, I hurt myself, by the way. See that?
Were you thinking too hard?
Yes, I poked my ear. Despite that, in December 2019, the access age was changed to 21. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. 2% ain't a whole shitload.
Not anymore.
Unless you include kindergartners, maybe it's 2.1. It may.
Well, I mean, if you throw in the kindergarten, since there's like 200 million, kindergartners that vape now.
I think it's 3, but all right.
Okay.
Does that acquiesce?
JUUL
Is that
says
the
it
word?
will challenge the ban. Michelle Fleury reports from New York.
From the beginning, JUUL products were a hit. It was easy to use, came in different colours and flavours, and at one time it had 75% market share.
75%.
But now its future is in doubt. Bad news for Altria, the cigarette company that owns a 35% stake. But good news perhaps for firms like R.J. Reynolds, whose views e-cigarettes already have approval to remain on the market. So what exactly happened? The US Food and Drug Administration has ordered JUUL to stop selling its e-cigarette device and 4 types of JUUL pods in America, its biggest market, pointing to its role in fueling an epidemic of teenage vaping. The decision comes nearly 2 years after the company submitted its application to the FDA with the hopes of continuing to sell their products. However, the agency concluded that JUUL had failed to prove their products met legal standards, saying they had provided insufficient and conflicting data, especially about potential harmful chemicals leaching from JUUL pods. For its part, JUUL said it respectfully disagrees with the FDA's findings and that it is exploring its options to keep its products on shelves, including appealing the decision. The popular e-cigarette company has long marketed itself as a...
So they throw in these like 8-year-old advertisements here.
Well, yeah, they have to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all part of the media package, Patrick. You know
now,
that.
But this person in this picture does not look like a child to me.
No, and this picture was reportedly supposed to be like, I don't know who the person, Arian Grande or somebody, who had a similar pose 2 years.
Her post was 2 years later. Yeah,
2 years later, people. Put us in front of Congress.
To help smokers quit. But critics say it comes with its own health risks. Some US teens has even died after vaping caused irreparable damage to their lungs.
Nope. We've covered this. Bullshit.
Ad nauseum. It was not nicotine vaping products, and definitely not a JUUL product that caused anybody to be sick or hospitalized or any of that nonsense. Yeah,
no. And if it was, we'd be the first fucking people to say so.
The move comes as the Biden administration is seeking to limit nicotine use in the United States.
The United States is...
So, yeah. So anyway, JUUL received MDOs, which means they had marketing denial orders. They were immediately told that they had to remove their products from shelves. And then Twitter went crazy. It
was a fire.
People are all over. People are so upset that JUUL is going to be gone. And how dare they? This is and hey, you know what? I'm not anti-JUUL. Now, not the device itself. I am anti-JUUL management though.
Yes.
And if you know shit that I know, and I did release a little bit of that in our secret Twitter groups today. People were, it's good because JUUL's gonna fight, and that's gonna help us.
They don't give a fuck about you.
JUUL is not going to help us.
So
their product is a closed system. None of the arguments that they're going to make will be convertible to our use. They're going to be product specific arguments. It's only going to help them. It's not going to help us. I am upset because there are people that use that product to stay off smoking, and they're happy with that product. So I'm I'm fine, with fighting for this at this moment, but
Yep.
I don't think anybody needs to sympathize with Altria because, and I even, I'll show my Twitter because,
How much is it? 35% of their business?
it's
No. Let me rephrase. That's 35% that they own of JUUL, not of their business.
no, I mean,
It's a penny of
but
their business.
it is a very tiny segment of their
It's
entire value.
Hey, you guys are cute. we'll go ahead and do this. That's what that is.
Well, I mean, you do realize they have endless pocketbooks.
Well, sure. Of course they do.
And they have an army of attorneys. But
and they have full support of the FDA.
So these I'm trying to figure out a bad word to use for these women because I'm trying to be very sensitive to women today. This is Parents versus Vaping. It says huge news. FDA has confirmed it's taking JUUL off the market. This is an enormous step in the right direction to protect the public health of our kids. So I actually quote tweeted them.
Oh, good.
With the definition of the word obtuse.
Well, yeah.
Lacking sharpness or quickness or sensibility or intellect. Used insensitively, it means the same thing as stupid. So I said, if you think JUUL didn't already have legal briefs chambered and ready to fire to get a stay or an injunction, you really are obtuse. Absentee parents versus vaping, because they are absentee parents. Do you see what I did there? Absentee.
Oh, hey, Patrick, I have a question.
What?
Can I proceed? So, off the record, how possibly do you think that the Wall Street Journal got wind of this a day before it happened? Ain't that neat? How'd that happen?
Well, I mean, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, Kevin, you could go the route of FDA warned JUUL that it was going to happen. And then JUUL leaked to the Wall Street Journal that it was going to happen, or some variation thereof.
Mitch is in the background smoking a big cigar going, yeah, here it comes.
Now, again, anybody, okay, I'm going to be kind of critical here of the vape bros, Kevin.
All right.
If a couple upstart open vapor companies that are in our space relatively large are able to get a stay from their MDO, do you think that billion with a B international company that has assets all over the world and has a valuation of something like a couple $1 billion in value doesn't have the ability to get the same injunction or stay that a couple like piss ant open vapor companies can get?
No. I've got another question. Are there Are there can you name, say, because this doesn't seem normal to me. Can you name, like, or anybody in the chat, anybody, it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter what the product is, it doesn't matter the subject. Can anybody name for me a product on the market that's taken off the market and then somebody sued the FDA to leave it on the market until they were done approving it or acknowledging that it's there? Ever? I can't think of anything that said, okay, it's on the market, we took it off, we're going to let it back on once we're done because we just got sued. We're going to leave it on.
Now,
I don't mean vaping. I mean anything.
Maybe not removed from market, but say, for example, you are a manufacturer of a pharmaceutical that has been ordered off the market,
all right,
because of X, Y, or Z.
Yep,
they have gotten back. There are pharmaceuticals that have been pulled off the market and reintroduced.
Chantix as an example.
Well, Chantix was black boxed. That's a different thing.
Right.
And then they petitioned to get the black box removed. So
popcorn. Hey, Robin. Popcorn. I'm not sure what that means, Tom. All I know is I can't think of any product of any kind that I've seen. You look so distinguished, you bastard. That was pulled off or told to be pulled off and then left alone because of a lawsuit or an injunction or a judge's decision. So a judge today decided, are we going to go there yet?
Yeah.
That vaping's safe. Really, that's what basically it says. No. They
ruled on the merits of the petition.
Yeah.
That FDA would have to justify their decision.
You mean it was unsupported by available evidence regarding
it was capricious. That's the word that they like to use.
Arbitrary
and arbitrary. Yes.
Capricious. Did you see Robbins in the room? So
I did.
So as with you, Patrick, I'm really kind of on your side. Well, I am really on your side. Whether I like to be or not, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I am.
I think you are. You just don't want anybody to know that you really like me.
Well, that's probably true. So I'm going to cut you off for a second while you relight your smoke, and I'm going to hit the share screen on the Victor share screen and figure out what this is. And I got
to hit the button.
I got to pre-rub it. Hang on now. Relax, calm. Logan told Jeremy's girlfriend to calm down yesterday, and I thought, he may be mine, legally, I don't know, but he got away with it. So there's the screen, the Victor share screen, by the way. Hello, Cerny.
It hasn't popped. There it goes. There
it goes. So I quote tweet Mr. Douglas, who I've had a couple tiffs with over the years quietly, but he didn't block me. So he says his comment was the off-ramp is being narrowed and sort of paved over, which is putting millions of adults' lives at stake. One hopes JUUL can respond effectively. This is the 23rd recall. And again, offer their products to adults in need. Well, now they have, but I said, despite whether I like them or not, I wonder, for the listening audience at least, how many humans are momentarily unaware? How many simply, a lot. There's a lot of Twitterers going, hey, wait a minute, JUUL, what? What are they doing? What? How many simply enjoy effective harm reduction because I believe it is an effective product, just like, and I only hit this thing 6 times, and I'm like, it's too strong for me, but it's the same exact feeling that I got with the JUUL. And if I was a full-fledged smoker, that would work. I also wonder how many find coils and tanks physically cumbersome. Little old ladies, little old men, people who are disabled. Don't come at me because I'm going to knock you out. And how many don't know of or unable to find or are so far away from a shop because they've all been closed down or are about to be closed down to find simple and effective adult choices. That's my take on the JUUL thing. I'm glad they're staying on the market because there's not a vape shop in every freaking town anymore. There's nowhere near a vape shop. And I hate that, but that's not where we are. So that's not where we are. And if they can do it to JUUL, they can do it to you and Skip and Mark and everybody else. And I don't like it. So it's freedom and liberty and the ability to make your own choices as an adult to do what you want to do. So like them, hate them, don't care. It's okay. You can have your opinion. I'm okay with that. But you can't badmouth it without knowing why.
Well, I'm pretty sure they can't do it to Skip anymore because she's already out of business. So
right, yeah. I know. Sadly, I know.
You know.
But and others are struggling, no matter how you may find them doing well. The local single or two vape shops are probably struggling harder than they may let on. But
Well, you know what's really annoyed me is that there are some people in the vape shop harm reduction world that were celebrating the fact that options for adult smokers were being limited.
well,
which drives me crazy because, you know, I there was a poem one time that I was going to use for propaganda in the vaping world. And it's first they came for the for those people, and I didn't say anything because I'm not one of them.
I've seen it enough in the vaping world already. Yeah,
but I was told by one of our friends who is Jewish that that would be offensive, so I never used it.
Right.
Even though I was very tempted to.
I may have. I don't know. I may have retweeted it. I don't think I've ever used it. Somebody could correct me. I don't think I have because of that. And I use the who's next question more than I do that anyway. I'd rather go that way. What's next? Who's next? That's all.
But
what's the next person or group or people?
In this particular instance, I'm not going to quote that, but I'm just going to say the moment that we start celebrating that they're attacking the people that we don't like, that are in the same space as us,
we're screwed.
Then we're shooting ourselves in the foot. And if we're part of the flat, my hat is curved, by the way, the flat build cap neckbeard crowd.
Yeah.
That's always saying freedom, yo.
Well,
you're actually celebrating other people's freedoms being taken away from them.
And then you're next.
Yes,
you're quite possibly next. Now, whether or not they go the same route with some weird blanket statement saying all vape shops must close, I can't imagine how they're going to enforce it. And I will not comply, and I hope nobody in here complies. I'm sure anything's possible. I mean, Kenneth's got a hard-on for it, so it doesn't matter. And we are officially Twitterati, so there you go.
Are we Twitterati?
I'm assuming he was referring to us.
I'm not Twitterati. I'm a good boy. I don't attack people on Twitter, Kevin.
Who knows? And I will beg to differ until I talk to your wife. I think I heard you. I think part of your head right here is flat, where your wife probably smacks you in the back of it.
No, that's the flat spot on my head is when I was a kid. My mom didn't roll me enough, and my head got flat. That's why I thank God every day that I have a full head of hair.
So
unlike Kevin.
So I got a full head of hair. So to conclude my JUUL thing, I don't care if you came to me tomorrow and you said, Kev, I've had this problem with eating too many widgets, and now I eat this widget, and I'm nowhere near as hungry, and I feel better, and I've got more energy. And I say, what is that widget? And then you explain that new widget, and I go, well, good for you. Other than that, it doesn't affect me. I don't care how you do whatever it is you want to do. Inalienable right to stop on the widgets. What is this inalienable? Don't we have our own choices to make? Oh, looky there.
So, just this afternoon, PBS reported that the federal court temporarily blocked the FDA ban on JUUL e-cigarette sales in the United States. It says a federal court on Friday temporarily blocked the government's order to JUUL to stop selling its electronic cigarettes. JUUL had filed an emergency motion earlier Friday because I predicted motherfuckers already had shit written down. They did. Come on. Only an idiot would have thought that they weren't prepared for this.
You're responsible to link that because I don't have that in our chat.
I thought I put it in the show notes.
Oh, you put, okay. All right. I didn't see you.
I'm pretty sure this is in the show notes, but anyway, I'll put it in the chat room just to make you happy, Kevin. The e-cigarette maker had asked the court to pause what it called an extraordinary and unlawful action by the FDA that would have required its immediate halt its business. But the FDA said Thursday that JUUL must stop selling its vaping device, its tobacco and menthol flavored cartridges. The action was part of a sweeping effort by the agency to bring scientific scrutiny to the multi-billion-dollar vaping industry after years of regulatory delays. To stay on the market, companies must show that their e-cigarettes benefit public health. That's part of it. Anyway, in practice, that means proving that adult smokers who use them are likely to quit or reduce their smoking, while teens are unlikely to get them hooked. See, now this is the part that fucked JUUL over right there.
Yeah.
Because for the last 4 years, there's headlines all over the medias that the JUUL epidemic, Jeffrey. So there is absolutely no way that JUUL could ever satisfactorily, in my opinion, prove this, because they've been drugged through the media so much. There's no way. And that's why I said JUUL knew in advance, months and months and months and months. They had these legal arguments. The one brief that I read had 21 prior case decisions as precedent that they were referring to. 21. So the moment they filed that, and that's the guts of their argument, paralegals all over were scanning the legal law libraries to try to find all these cases to refer to. 21. The FDA said JUUL's application left regulators with significant questions and didn't include enough information to evaluate any potential health risks, which is BS. I know that their fucking application was 300,000 pages.
Right.
Yeah. JUUL said it submitted enough information and data to address all issues raised. The company said the FDA refused its request to put its order on hold to avoid a massive disruption to its business. While JUUL remains a top seller, its share in the United States market has dipped to about half. The company was widely blamed for a surge in underage vaping a few years ago, but a recent federal survey showed a drop in the teen vaping rate and a shift away from JUUL's products to a very small, tiny percentage. Right. The device's heat nicotine solution, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read that. The company said it's in its Friday court filing that it had submitted a 125,000-page application to the FDA nearly 2 years ago. It said the application included, I was told 300,000, but okay. It said the application included several studies to evaluate the health risks among JUUL users. JUUL said that the FDA cannot argue that there was a critical and urgent public interest in immediately removing its products from the market when the agency allowed them to be sold during its review. The company noted that FDA denied its application while authorizing those submitted by competitors with similar products. And that's going to be one of the feathers for the JUUL attack, is that this Enjoy that I have, the Views, Logic's product, they're all fairly similar. In 2019, JUUL was pressured into halting its advertising and eliminating its fruit and dessert flavors after they became popular among middle and high school kids. The next year, the FDA limited flavors in small vaping devices to just tobacco and menthol.
Steve mentioned that earlier. They took away flavors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's 21. It's 21.
When they removed mango, you could see their sales shift immediately, from mango to mint.
Right.
When they pulled mint, everything went to menthol, and their numbers for the first year after the the flavors were removed were pretty much the same. They didn't drop their market share in the youth market until competing products like the bars, all the bars that came out. There's bars.
Yep. Doesn't matter. It should be left on the market, period. Or Caliph is admitting that he wants to protect cigarettes at literally any cost. That's the way I see it. And I'm okay with him protecting cigarettes. They should be available too. But stop it. You're going to say one thing and do another. What?
But speaking of flavors, so University of Louisville has received $3.6 million by the National Institutes of Health and the FDA to study the effects of flavorings like mango and bubblegum used in vaping and electronic cigarettes. Researchers at the U of L, Christina Lee Brown, in the U of L, Christina Lee Bryan Envirome Institute, which recently inaugurated the university's new Vision of Health campus in downtown Louisville, aim to better understand the short and long-term impacts of these flavorings, specifically on the heart, and catalog which are potentially harmful.
Now, here's how the research is going to start. Which
they're going to use angelfish or
a bunch of plastic. Victor,
poor mice.
Which end do I light this on? I don't understand how it works. Oh, it's got a regulator. Let's take that fucking thing off because we don't need.
Let's crank this up to 400 watts.
Yeah. So I'm highly contagious or optimistic. I'm not sure.
What are you doing?
I'm putting my battery back. That's one of my
dropping shit. You're making all sorts of racket now.
Don't make me come over there.
This
is probably not going to be good. They're going to look for harms, right? See where it says potentially harmful. Mm-hmm. How about potentially good?
Helpful.
No. We want harmful. We want harm. Remember Sarah Napton? We're not interested in anything but harm. That's what we want. Harm sells papers.
E-cigarettes are still relatively new, and we don't yet fully understand what their health effects are, said Alex Carl, an assistant professor in the Department of Physiology, and co-lead on the project. Understanding this could help us make better purchasing and regulatory decisions.
No, it can't.
Yeah, the U.S. FDA has banned the use of unauthorized flavors used in disposable e-cigarette cartridges, saying some could appeal to kids and also adults and help fuel rising rates of youth vaping. However, a wide variety of flavors are still available in liquid form. So what they're going to do is, like I said, they're going to dissect angelfish, Kevin.
And just take the fins, right?
They're going to take the heart, the little tiny heart from the angelfish, and they're going to put them in a little petri dish, and then they're going to pour concentrated flavorings on top of the heart tissue.
Yeah.
And then they're going to leave it out on the counter for a few days under a heat lamp.
Uncovered, right? Of course.
Yes. So then when they come back in a few days later, and there are maggots and other things growing in there because they left the little heart in there with the flavorings and that attracted flies who lay eggs, then they're going to say that vaping causes maggots in the heart.
Well, there you go. That'll be the ultimatum that I'm waiting on then. All I know is Dr. Rodu, who by the way got a prize, is just an award rather. I hope Dr. Rodu runs around the corner and talks to those guys because they're in Kentucky and all.
He's in Kentucky too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Matthew Nistoriak, an associate professor of medicine and co-lead on the project, said some flavors may seem harmless because they taste like or use the same ingredients as in food. But while these ingredients are safe to eat, they may not be safe to inhale. Some flavors used in vapes, like diacetyl, which does not, Actually, that's not true anymore. I actually know some companies that said fuck it, and they just started putting their diacetyl flavors back out.
Right.
I'm not talking out of school because a flavor manufacturer said so on this show.
Right.
So have been linked to serious and even deadly health consequences like popcorn lung damage caused by airway inflammation. Our goal is to understand how individual flavoring chemicals impact the heart.
Right.
Like I said.
Right.
There are many flavoring chemicals used in e-cigarettes, and if we know which are potentially more harmful than others, it's possible for people to make more informed decisions about which products they use.
Well, that depends upon how you relay the information and the data.
Exactly. Because, I have always supported good science. I have always supported good science. When Dr. F released his paper about cinnamaldehyde,
yes,
I was supportive of that, even though a lot of people that liked cinnamon flavors were very upset. Were very upset about it. But
mad.
I wanted, if I'm inhaling it, I would like to know what it is. I'm not gonna, And vapors were upset because he found a harm that they didn't want to hear.
Correct.
So, it is what it is. So identifying their biological effect is also likely to help the FDA in regulating flavoring additives in e-cigarettes in the future. There won't be any.
No.
This work builds on significant research already being conducted by U of L and its Envirome Institute that examines environmental factors affecting human health, including the trends and impacts of vaping and e-cigarettes. In 2020, the American Heart Association invested nearly $17 million to fund work to better understand the drivers behind youth vaping, the health effects of this use, and how to motivate young people to stop using these products. So according to the CDC in 2022, 4% of middle school students, 470,000, and 13.4%, 2.5 million of high school students reported recently using e-cigarettes. Nearly 85% of youth who report using e-cigarettes say they used flavored e-cigarettes.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
That's what they said.
That's what she said. Oh,
you know what's funny? I'm trying to pick my own brain for a second. The less harmful part of this, and you said Dr. F and the cinnamaldehyde. I haven't heard him or seen him or read from him or listened to him on occasion of anything really noteworthy that could indicate danger by any means. But I'm still looking forward to anything that he may find. I can't remember anything offhand. That was the biggest one that they were pissed at.
There were a couple others. Like he was expressed. He has not recently. He had talked about high volume vaping.
Right. Yep. But no, that was the only
high
one.
High temperature vaping.
Right.
Being problematic because of acrolein and other things that are released when you vaporize VG at very high temperatures.
Correct. The other part,
it's not very high temperatures. It's higher than what I vape.
Right.
But if somebody is using temperature control or not using temperature control, and they're vaping at very low resistance and they crank it up to 400 watts, it actually theoretically could achieve the temperature where acrolein is released, which is very bad.
And what I found accidentally through Alan Beard was, he found it or talked about it. So did Paul Morph on Twitter. And I, through a second survey that I did, what did you start with? What are you at now? You started with an Ego and a CE4, and you were using 18. And now you're using a box mod with 8 billion volts and 80 gazillion watts, and you're vaping 3, but you're vaping 5 times what I'm vaping. So you're inhaling it more. He had that specifically. He talked about that too. But that wasn't as big a deal to anybody as the cinnamon phenhide.
Well, the cinnamaldehyde thing, I mean,
my job is to know what I'm doing and I want to be informed about it, and that way I'm a threat to public health, I hope. And I want to know what's going on. Whether I choose to continue to do it is up to me.
Yes, informed.
That's all.
Decision making.
That's it. So sometimes we tell people things they don't want to hear, or you tell me things I don't want to hear, or I tell you things, whatever. Who cares? Usually I tell you stuff you already know. I know that. That's why I don't like it.
Because I know everything.
You see Tic Tacs in here, right? And he's making popcorn. He's making popcorn.
And cinnamon flavored popcorn.
He's a brave old soul.
Well, he's definitely old.
Well, I think he's a year younger.
Not as old as you.
I think he's a year younger. I don't remember now. Paul, are you 50 yet? What else you got, Zippy?
I'm playing a commercial right now.
All right.
That's why I'm dancing. It's a Ray-Ban commercial.
Trying to drop my...
It's a Ray-Ban commercial, but here I'll share what, and I make. Yeah, I have this sound. So we have. I have made an effort. To educate you guys on embedded advertisement, right? Where we showed you the same video from Truth and Pave. Or it's Truth. It was Truth. Yeah. So there's a new video package being circulated, and I found a couple instances of it, but this is one. This is just one.
Hey, good morning, Andy. So first we are going to talk about vaping. You probably heard the FDA has ordered JUUL to stop selling its e-cigarette products and remove them from store shelves. Now, the agency has cited a lack of data and evidence to assess their potential health risks. Under the order, JUUL must stop selling and distributing its e-cigarette devices along with any of its...
Now, this part... we already covered, but you'll see it. You'll see it when it happens.
4 types of JUUL products or JUUL pods. Now, the order does not prevent consumers from having JUUL within their possession or using JUUL products. Dr. Farah Karadman is a professor of medicine in the pulmonary section at Baylor College of Medicine and has done years of research on e-cig use.
Unfortunately, the advertisement community associated with these products have been very strong and very much in favor of pushing false information and been falsely touting that this is a safe alternative to cigarette.
Yeah, Dr. Karadman told me.
Now, I don't know that anybody ever said that it was a safe alternative.
Safer.
But it is much safer.
That human lives cannot wait 50 years for research to prove what it has already shown that cigarettes can do in that time. Now, according to recent data, nearly 1 in 5 high school students use e-cigarettes, but
Okay, I gotta pause this for a second.
Right.
So, all right, 1 in 5 high school students. So let me go over here real quick. I'm gonna go to Google. And I'm going to type in how many kids in U.S. high schools.
And we're talking 20% of this number.
Okay, so 15.1 million. So 15.1 million. Okay, let me get my calculator. I got my calculator.
Go ahead. 3.333. I'm not a mathematician, by the way, and I don't claim to be.
So 20 where's my calculator? There it is. So 15.100.
You know what? 0. I love our audience. Steve says FDA has no authority over consumers. Victor says FDA has no authority over the black market. which I'm encouraging completely. How many? What? 3?
I hit the wrong button.
You silly. Was that a mistake?
1, 2, 3.
Error?
I goofed up. How about that?
This is why I don't like you. I expect the perfection, and then
3 million.
3 point what million? 3.3?
No, 3,220,000. 3,020,000.
All right.
So they're saying that 3,020,000 kids.
Yeah, from 2018 and 19 is what they're using. They're not even using the right fucking numbers because the FDA said don't use these numbers, don't compare them.
So if the total number of adults is like 11 million.
Yeah.
So
Kassad just put that out today.
What?
Hold on. We just put a
I'm going to
number.
keep playing the video. What can be done to help young people that are addicted to vaping and nicotine? What can be done to help them quit? Joining us this morning to discuss a first-of-its-kind text message program called...
Okay. When I pause it, it makes it smaller. But if you notice behind this young lady, these little cubby holes.
Yep. It's the same day.
Same desk. This is the same desk. This is not the same lady, the same mom that was on the previous video, but it is definitely the same office. It is definitely the same place.
This is Quitting from Truth. We've got Megan Jacobs, one of the program's founders and vice president of the product at Truth Initiative, and Parker Kearns, a college student who recently quit e-cigarettes. Hey, good morning, guys.
It can happen.
So tell us about youth vaping and its impact on young people, and what are some of the common reasons that teens turn to e-cigs?
Well, as you mentioned, we've got millions of young people across this country who are vaping right now.
All right. So I just wanted you to see that much of that, okay?
It's the same place.
So now, wait. I have a video file.
So they staged multiple interviews that aren't really interviews; they're cutaways. Like standing in
recent data, nearly 1 in 5 high school students use e-cigarettes. So, what can be done to help young people that are addicted to vaping nicotine?
1 in 5 high school kids. What can be done to kids that are already? That is the same exact sentence. Okay.
And they want to quit. There is a first of its kind text message.
And this is not the same interviewer.
Nope. Not even close.
Program called This Is Quitting from Truth, which is now helping nearly 500,000 young people quit vaping nicotine. Here to tell us how it works is Megan Jacobs, one of the program's founders and vice president of product at Truth Initiative, and Parker Kearns, a college student who recently quit e-cigarettes with help from This Is Quitting. Thank you.
The same exact script, kids. The same word per word.
It's like
so much for joining us today. We're really excited to have you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, so Morgan, first we want to know just about the youth vaping
Now she's going to say something about millions of kids. Watch.
Epidemic and its impact on people.
So as you mentioned, we are in a youth vaping crisis right now. Millions of young people are vaping, almost 20% of high school students, and they're experiencing often really severe health consequences from it, both to their...
So this is native or embedded advertisement. So these are ads. These are advertisements. These are paid segments that are embedded in news broadcasts that are designed to make you think that it is a valid interview and that it is news.
And it's live.
And well, I there are a lot of recorded segments on the news. I don't care about that. I care about the fact that this is paid advertisement. and legally, and we pointed this out the last time.
They did, Michael. I didn't see it on this one.
There is supposed to be an advertisement.
Yeah.
There is somewhere it's supposed to say that it is an advertisement and that this is paid for by the Truth Initiative. This particular one does not.
Doesn't seem
legally
to.
They're supposed to.
But the others we've shown have, including on the broadcast.
Some of them.
Some.
Yes.
Right.
Not all of them did. But legally they're required to let you know that they were paid for that time.
Yeah.
And that one didn't. So I would be extremely surprised, Kevin, if next week when I do my Google search that I don't find about 15 or 16
probably more
of the same clip.
Probably more because they can advertise JUUL for free, and that's what they want to do.
Right, but like I said, today I just found 2.
It's going to
today.
keep going. Yeah,
but
it's
the last time I found 21 copies of the same video.
Yep.
And if you go back to that show, all the links to all I'm transparent. I showed you everywhere that video was being used so that you could watch it and see that it was scripted. It was verbatim.
It is, Cerny. It is. Patrick, I've got the Victor share screen up.
I see that.
You see that? This little group, it's some little group called Consumer Advocates for Smoke-Free Alternatives Association. I don't know if you've heard of them, because along with the other tweets that they've put out in the past few weeks, among others in the past 10 years or more, the 2021 National Youth Tobacco Survey found 11.3 high school and 2.8% of middle school students vaped. Durban, Dick, seems to have just added together. It's actually 7.6 or 2.06 million. And if only 4% extrapolation, if only 4% of the 18 up population vapes, that's 10.3 million, which leads back to how many people are vaping, because I'm always interested in that as well. So those are the numbers I assume are correct from the person or people in that group right there that run that board. So
since you brought up CASA,
yes, sir.
Matt Culley brought something to my attention on Twitter.
Yes, okay.
Apparently, and I don't know all of this. I don't know all of what happened, but here's a screenshot. So this guy Doug, and I am not telling you to go find at DHC 175 an expression.
DHC 175. Okay, I don't want to.
I'm not telling you to go to at DHC 175 and say anything mean to him, but they were discussing the fact that CASA is apparently a paid shill for the vaping industry, and you must release your financials, which they do.
Well, of course,
they follow the rules. So it says, interesting, you don't publish your donors. You are a puppet for the vaping industry, so maybe kill yourself, corporate shill.
That's right.
And he was talking to Danielle, THR, who is like one of the
president is.
I don't know what her actual title is anymore, but she's with CASA.
At least.
And that is not cool, people.
No.
You know, you've lost your battle. You've lost your battle the moment you say something like, die in a fire or something like that.
I had somebody tag me this week, and the guy said, the person tagging me said, you can ask Kevin Crowley, which I don't mind people using my name. It doesn't matter to me anymore, but it used to, but it doesn't. I don't give a shit. And it had my handle, which shows the blog. And he said, well, that's something similar to that of a shill or something like that. So I gave him 6, 8, 10 links of the subject. And then I said, note, none of those are from my paid industry blog. My paid industry blog was paid by somebody in the industry for 1 year, but they have zero influence on what I do or don't do. In this case, at the moment, Big B, Thunder from Down Under, he was packing his stuff on his way home quickly. Drop bears were around him to shut him up. And the guy's got a podcast, and he said, "Hey, I'd like you to invite him on." And I thought, well, I'm going to invite him on to ours, but he ain't going to come anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I've never got a response. Zero links. Some dumbass that thinks I'm an industry paid shill. I don't understand it, Patrick. Which I've been called quite a few times. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
well, and neither is Danielle, and neither is Matt, and I think there's one person.
Yeah, but promoting self-harm is not
right to tell somebody to go kill themselves and whatever.
But Tic Tac did let us know that Doug DHC175 has lost his Twitter account.
Good, even better. Maybe that's why I couldn't see that. I did see some of that thread inadvertently.
So luckily that
fuck you, Doug.
Telling people to die or go kill themselves is not cool. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't even want to tell him that. I'd just say fuck off. Who cares?
So in a partially related note, not to that, but to getting people to come on our show. So Henage is quoting or is sharing Clive Bates's blog about JUUL, which we're not going to read because it's done. But anyway, I did respond to Henage. We should have another live stream chat at some point, and it would be a hoot since Clive was already tagged. It would be a hoot to get you and Clive on at the same time. That would be awesome.
I would only wear a tie for Dr. Glover, and
I'm
because
not wearing a tie for either of these guys, I'm going to
no, and because I didn't for Dr. Glover, I will refuse to for Clive, and I like Clive, but nope, I ain't doing it.
No, I don't think Clive would actually wear a tie to our show.
No, I don't think he would either.
No, I think he knows that we're a bunch of bros.
Chuckleheads. What happened to just chuckleheads? I don't mind that.
Chuckleheads.
It's okay. I'm all right with that.
There is a picture of me circulating.
There is.
Rampaging.
Snidely. I saw Snidely.
Schmedley.
Is it Schmedley? I thought it was Snidely.
Oh, Snidely Whiplash. Yes.
He
said that I was evil.
He's pretty sharp. So yeah, obviously he's pretty sharp.
He said that I'm not evil. No way.
You're not good.
No way.
No way.
So back to some Twitter tweets. Michelle Minton says combustion, not nicotine, is what kills. This is in reference to the rumor, the announcement that FDA is seeking to reduce the level of nicotine in all cigarettes, not just the VLNs. So FDA's plan to ban popular lower risk products like JUUL and reduce nicotine in cigarettes will push more people back to smoking, force them to smoke more to sustain the nicotine levels. This isn't health policy, it's a tax revenue generation policy.
No. We're doing this all wrong, Patrick. FDA has approved lower nicotine cigarettes. Yes?
Very low.
Yes or no? No, yes is yes.
Yes.
So since they have, and all these parents want their kids to get off these, gosh darn vapes because you vape people suck, then my suggestion, honestly, is that they immediately call the FDA and say, well, are the VLNs safe because I want my child to quit vaping? And that's all I'm asking, because it's an authorized product, and it's because of safety for the FDA. I don't see any problem with kids grabbing them. None.
Michelle even says further, no need for the tinfoil hat on this one. Either the Biden administration is criminally stupid and can't understand how these policies will increase smoking and death, or they know exactly what they're doing, which is a different type of criminality altogether.
Yeah, desk murder. Now, Michelle is also, for everybody who doesn't know, a friend of the show. She's been on our show.
She's been on our show. Yeah. She's had beers with us on the show.
And
so then I replied, but all the VLN sock bucket accounts on Twitter swear that all the science that they paid for proves that people will consume less of the substance that they are addicted to.
Less. It'll help you smoke less. I can't believe I can even say that out loud. But look.
And we've highlighted this crazy woman before.
That's my girl there.
She's from Rhode Island or something, I think.
Don't you be calling her and flirting with her. That one's mine.
And apparently there were 2 offensive tweets that were retracted. Retracted.
Well, it was hidden by the author. I don't know about retracted.
Well, they retracted themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I've edited myself. The filters that I don't normally turn on came on.
Right.
And I took it back.
Speaking of shadow banning and all that other crap. Yeah. I had a message. Well, I have been a couple times. I had a message this week that involved wonky, weird shit going on Twitter where feeds were acting funny, and you click on something and all that. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna link in the YouTubes the link to see if you or anyone else you know. Hey, I haven't seen any tweets from him lately.
I haven't checked this week if I was shadow banned.
What?
I normally check at least once a week to see if I've been shadow banned.
Oh, you do? Okay. So it's
I have not done that today.
It's shadowbanuriza.com. You simply, well, here, let's do this. We'll get the Victor share screen.
Why don't we
click on
Victor
that.
bought you a monitor or gave you a monitor? You might as well use it.
Victor share screen. Shut it. We got to hit share, and there it is. So I'm going to put this in the YouTubes in a minute. So I'm going to put it's got that. So you put your handle and I'm not smoking it. I'm vaping it, and then you hit check, and it does a little thing down here, running the test for me. And it takes a second. So I do exist. There's no suggestion bans. There's no search. There's no ghost, and there's no boosting detect.
Type me in there since you got it on there. Since
NACHTNOIR. HTNOIR. Enter. It says you're a dumbass. Nope, that's not it. Nope, you exist.
I'm not ghost banned. I was ghost banned like 2 weeks ago for a little while.
All right, so we're gonna check Bruni because I don't know what was going on with Big B. Where's B?
What did you do?
Damn it. What? Bruni, what's your... I forget his hand.
Thunder from Down Under. Oh, no, that's not Bruni.
Ain't that true? Well, give me another one. Find one you like, or find Bruni's.
Find Bruni's?
Yeah. I forget it.
Come on, slow ass computer. Come on. Somebody type in your @ in the chat.
Yeah, type it in your chat.
Yeah.
Our chat, the chat.
The chat. You could do I'm a racing mom.
I'm a racing mom, that'll work.
Yeah. Check skip out.
She can't be banned. She's too sweet. She's always been.
Well, no, but somebody did clone her account this week.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So I think you guys get the point. So I think you can tag that and go to it. But I checked that handle. You don't put the @ because it's there for you, just for your own knowledge. And it won't say anything, I don't think. If you put the @ I think it'll just say error. if I remember correctly. Yeah, valid Twitter. So you got to take the @ off. You hit the check, and off it'll go. And if you are ghost banned or deboosting applies, I believe that is just because you've been a bad person and they don't like it, and then they'll give it back to you. So I will take the mom part off here and be kind to everybody, because that's what Skip says to do. And then I will throw it in our chat. Where is it at?
Yeah, you do robot more frequently when you're sharing a screen.
I'm not sure what that means. Oh, because I'm using the YouTubes and the freaking Facebooks and the So being shadow banned also doesn't mean you're permanently. And I've had it done twice to me. It's no fun because you're just tweeting to the air. And somebody will search you and find you if you're friends, but they won't find you otherwise, I guess. So you're just tweeting and tweeting. And it took me, I think the first time was a week. The second time was like 3 weeks. I kept tweeting though. It didn't matter. But the shadow ban is...
it just keeps you off of people's feet. It just it makes it harder for people to see your shit.
It's another tool. Good, Cerny. You have to. Once in a while, you should. If you're not getting response,
I think if you actually search yourself, like it sets up an alert somewhere at Twitter, and they're like, "Oh, they've realized that they've been shadow banned, so let's unshadow ban them now."
And Dr. Glover was banned from Twitter.
Well, she didn't. She wasn't shadow banned. She was.
Correct.
You're not allowed to use your fucking account because we don't like you.
Which is the top end of that.
And not even telling you why they don't like you.
No. So you guys should, within reason, have your. I don't want to tell anybody what to say or do. That's not my intent here. When you're using Twitter specifically, just because certain words are probably going to put a claw in somebody's ass, you got to be, sharp enough to know what you're saying and what you're not saying. Use the words may, could, or might a lot. That way it's not a direct, thing. Ha ha ha. So
I have a follow-up to a story that we've been following for a while, Kevin.
Which one?
So, it's self-explanatory. I'm going to play the video.
We have continuing coverage of alleged strip searches of students in Suring. 6 false imprisonment charges were dismissed against Suring Superintendent Kelly Casper today.
It comes almost 2 weeks after the school board accepted her resignation, which takes effect on June 30th. On January 17th, Casper and the school nurse allegedly had 6 female students between the ages of 14 and 17 stripped to their underwear. They were looking for vaping devices and cartridges. Oconto County District Attorney Edward Burke determined the searches were lawful. However, he did file the false imprisonment charges, claiming the students were illegally confined. 2 days after those charges were filed, the school board placed Casper on administrative leave. Fox 11's Ben Krumholtz brings us balanced coverage on today's decision.
Kelly Casper appeared in Oconto County Court Tuesday looking to have the criminal charges filed against her dismissed.
Forget the strip search for a minute. She's not charged with that. She's not. If she puts them in a room to confine them, to do something that she's allowed to do, which is search because of reasonable suspicion, I think we're done.
District Attorney Edward Burke agrees the searches were okay, but maintains the students were illegally confined.
Confinement, as defined by the statute, as defined by the jury instruction, means that she limited their freedom of movement. What are they supposed to do after they are
So I have to think. Okay, so she resigned from her job,
which helped her in this, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're like, well, she's already been punished, and following the letter of the law, You know, she's allowed to strip little girls down to their underwear if she has a suspicion that they look good in their. I don't know. This to me. I think I've expressed my opinion on this. The parent should string her up and have it over with.
What? May, could, or might.
If that was a male,
yes, correct,
principal,
right. Where's the standard? No one should be allowed to strip a child. No one should be allowed. This is asexual. I don't know the words.
Right.
You cannot say that anyone can strip a child to their underwear. I don't care who's doing it, unless it's the parent doing it. You call the parent, you hold the child where they're supposed to be in the office, and the parent comes in and they can do what they want to. And then they can say, oh shit, I found one, or why are you here? No.
I'm telling you, Kevin, if this had been a male principal,
right, he'd be in jail.
6 girls, he would be in fucking jail.
He'd be in jail, rightfully so. And she should be
probably dead in the jail
beforehand.
So the thing is you should be as horrified.
It's automatically assumed, right? And you should be fucking horrified.
Just because, and they're arguing, the guy's like, well, they could only charge her with unlawful imprisonment because she imprisoned them while she strip searched them.
I can't believe that this is even happening. I really can't. I just can't. I don't understand it. Were you ever strip searched for smoking ever once?
No.
I didn't say, do you want to be? I said, were you?
No.
No. Fuck no.
And had I been strip searched, my 280-pound mama would have been at the school grabbing a hold of the principal and throwing him through a fucking wall. I am not joking. My mama was a big woman, and she farm girl. She could pick up a fucking cow. Like my mama was a big woman, and it was not all extra body weight. But
I can't. I don't know, Richard. I kind of agree with you. I don't know what I would do if this was Logan in a school. Let's say he steals one of my vapes. I don't know that he will. I sure hope he doesn't. But you don't have the right to strip search anybody, period. Nobody has the right to do that.
Yeah.
Unless it's the parent. Nobody.
Well, nowadays, Kevin, okay, let's see this. Let's just look at this fucking line.
Okay.
So when you and I were in school, I'm going to take this off the screen for a minute.
All right.
When you and I were at school, because we're
50s.
both older, we had corporal punishment in schools.
Yes. Paddlings. Yes.
The teacher could take us into the hallway and physically abuse us.
As much as they wanted.
Within reason.
Well, I don't know about that.
And never once was any kid ever asked to be strip searched. Now, physical abuse was okay.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, if a kid threw like a stapler, if the kid walked up to the principal's desk or the teacher's desk and grabbed the stapler and threw it at the teacher,
right,
the teacher could not do anything in response to that. Parents aren't allowed to spank their kids. Teachers aren't allowed to spank the kids anymore.
Yeah.
But it's okay to mentally abuse them to the point where they're going to be traumatized, right, in the future. Now, these 6 female students, and there was one in Canada. I have a threaded tweet from a couple weeks ago on Twitter showing all of these the abuses of school kids for the last decade in relation to vaping.
Yep.
Everything from the doors to the bathroom being removed in some schools, principals in New Zealand doing upskirt videos under the bathroom stall doors with the justification that she was looking to see if they were vaping in there. Kids being bullied by other kids because they didn't want to get in trouble for vaping, all sorts of shit like that.
A Florida video promoting
several instances. Tased, kids being tased. And then obviously there was a Canadian kid about 3 months before this incident that was strip searched in front of his classmates and forced to pull the waistband of his breeches or his underwear away from his body and jiggle it around to make things fall out. So what is worse, Kevin? Getting taken into the hallway fully clothed and being spanked for being unruly in school.
I'd rather you
or being strip searched and forced to embarrass yourself in front of other kids.
I think it's a self-explanatory rhetorical question.
This line,
But wait a minute, we want them to think for themselves.
and obviously, their brains are not fully developed until they're 25.
No, because they're not
or
smart.
50, depending on who you ask these days.
Well, the FDA says they're very cunning and they're very smart.
Which means they're mentally fragile as well, Kevin.
Yeah. I can't figure it out.
One group of these people want kids to be able to vote at age 15. The same group of people that are saying their brains are not fully developed until they're 25.
Yeah. Don't make me go George Carlin on you.
And how we have a huge mental health crisis in our country, which I don't deny.
Yeah.
And we're mentally traumatizing these kids in school now.
It's funny you mentioned that. My son and I got into a pseudo discussion.
Which one, the pothead or the other kid?
The other one. And I said, when I was a kid, when you were a kid, ADHD or ADD was not seemingly.
No,
to me,
that kid's just hyper. You just need to work it out.
Right.
Of him. You need to make him run until he, it's like a dog.
Yeah.
You have a dog that's hyperactive. You exercise them until they tire out, and then they're no longer hyperactive.
This is literal cat on the tin roof bending it down, but the smoking rates went down, and those things keep continuing to rise. Mental health problems, ADHD, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Ritalin.
Right.
Any of the cocktail of methamphetamine cousins that are being used to treat
any and all
ADHD and all of those things. Those prescriptions went up, cigarette smoking went down.
Right. Isn't that weird? It just the way he said something to me made me go click. It hit my brain the way he said it. And I'm like, now that you mentioned it, Dustin, because we're having a discussion about his issues, and it's a stigmatizing thing to him sometimes. He's embarrassed. And I have told him it's the same thing with his mother. You can't see that either. But everybody feels sorry for her. Which isn't necessarily the point of either.
I don't feel sorry for either one of them, Kevin.
Right. This is how this works. The brain is acting and doing what it needs to do and wants to do, and you have to alter it in a way that makes you feel better. If she wants to sit and play her games all day, that's what she's going to do. If she wants to go do dishes, she'll go do that. If she wants to today she was a little confused at the grocery store, and rightfully so.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of stimulation going on.
Well, you got me first, and that's bad. And then you've got them remodeling, and everything that she's known for the past 2 years has just. And she's like, why are we going this way? And I'm like, well, we're facing the back of the store, and they've got glass on it now. They've enclosed all the meats, the hot dogs and all that. And she's looking at it and she's not sure. I mean, this is one of those moments where I went, okay, there it is. Because I don't see it often. And I'm not looking for pity and shame and silliness and whatever. And poor Jan, she gets that. But it's an opening moment for me to go, okay, little extra patience, Kev. Don't be a dumbass. Because I'm a dumbass. Everybody knows.
And I work at, we have we have memory care units. Routine is everything.
God, yes.
Routine is life for them. And you throw them out, you throw their routine off.
Yeah. So she was jittery.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with autistic kids. You fuck up their routine.
Sure.
You change. Their toy should be in the same place.
Yep.
And if you move it 5 feet away from where it was, it's just gonna fuck up their day.
Yep. So it's an example of her brain where it's something that's that happens to people that are older, and she's not. She's just now 57 a few months ago. So she's young to me, but with Dustin at 28, he's still like, well, yeah, but people think things and whatever. And that's part of his own brain doing that, and people aren't. But either way, and you're right about her and the situations and the sameness and you got to have some continuity, and that fucked her up.
Well, I mean, and your boy's got more than one problem,
right?
So,
right. But
sometimes when you have comorbidities, especially his comorbidity,
And of all people, me sitting on this show with you all this time, and he smokes like a freight train, and I'm okay with it. You know why? Because it helps him, and I don't care.
What works for him.
If he decides, and he's tried a few different things, he can do so. Until then,
yeah. Let's go back to this. We got a minute left.
In an attorney general's opinion, that's how you're supposed to do it, away from other students, so the students avoid embarrassment. That was done. Once the searches were done, they were allowed to leave. No one voiced concerns about it, and I think she has the lawful authority to do it.
One of the 6 students involved told the court they felt they had no choice.
After the searches were done, we did not get to leave the office until that school day was over and we got the permission to leave.
Judge Mark Hammer sided with the defense, agreeing there weren't enough facts for the charges.
I just can't conclude on these facts or infer from these facts that the defendant intended with knowledge to confine.
The decision was well received by Casper supporters in the courtroom. The district attorney does have the option to refile the charges. In Oconto County, Ben Crum.
So all of those people were applauding the fact that those 6 little girls had to get stripped down to their
they were applauding molestation. That's what they were applauding.
Yeah. I mean, if I look up the definition of molestation, I have to be confident 100% that it does not always have to be physical in nature.
No.
Forcing a child to take off their clothing, even down to their underwear. I know that Bruni up there said something about undressing versus strip searching. Or it might have been Tom. I can tell you for a fact, it's probably a good thing that I don't have little kids. Because if this was my situation, nothing that happened in this courtroom would have happened quietly.
No. 1, sexual assault or abuse of a person, especially a woman or a child. 2, the action of pestering or harassing someone in an aggressive or persistent manner. Good enough for me. There's different degrees, period.
Yeah.
And that is, you can, the products that were linked to a valley were molested. It's a different form of it. It's all the same shit to me.
I'm not a fan. No. Not a fan of this current situation. And I'm sure that between now and the end of time, I will probably have to add more nonsense to my tweet about the list of all of the human rights abuses. Be the better motherfucker.
That was Mark's the keychain.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
I got it.
I forgot I had it in here because it broke. Sometimes the kids will come up and they'll say, "Hey, Dad, can I borrow $10?" And then I just show them that. That's all I do.
I'm actually scrolling down my Twitter feed right now to find to find the list of human rights abuses, because I really should add that.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure what you mean by that, Charles Recton. I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
He's saying that I'm saying that it's okay for kids to hide the vapes in their underwear, which I never said. What I said was the parents should have been notified and asked to come to the school so that they could handle their children in their underwear and not a stranger at school. And I guarantee you, Charles, that you would also agree that if it had been a male principal that strip searched 6 female students, that you would be as horrified as I am, which means that we have a double standard. As far as I'm concerned, and according to the attorneys in the county, it's okay for a school principal to strip search or request that a student strip down to their underwear against their will, which is bullshit. The parent should have been notified. The parent should have been brought to the school. The parents should have handled that, and not some strange principal.
Here's how this should go. Hi, this is Bob. I'm the principal at your school, or Betty. I don't give a shit what the name is. Your child, we assume, is vaping. We're not sure. How would you like us to handle this? What we would like to do is have you come down and talk to your child and possibly check him, search him, whatever that may be that you want to do. How would you like to proceed?
I guarantee you, if they'd have called my mama would have come up there when I was a kid. She would have drugged me into the restroom and pulled my pants down.
And whooped your little ass.
And then beat my ass. Which would have
been
okay.
Everybody would have been okay with that, including your friends.
Hey,
Patrick, you got your ass
mom
beat.
beat my ass in the front of a TG&Y, which is a 5 and dime store, back in old-timey days, because I had stolen a cap gun. And she produced a belt and handed it to the store manager, and he said, "No, ma'am, I can't do that." So she took it from him and beat my ass in front of everybody.
I will.
And that was okay because that was my mama. But if some stranger had done it,
my mother gave my elementary school principal permission to she said, "You never have to call me again." And he said, yeah, I do, but okay, thank you. And then whip my ass.
So, hey, we're going to go over this list real quick. So this is from 2019.
Oh, yeah.
This boy right here, he was searched.
Yep.
This is in 2019.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, here we go. September 11th of 2019.
Yeah.
This is a story about bathroom stall doors being removed so that kids can't shit in privacy.
That's right.
This is a story here of this boy here was strip searched because a vape. This one here. This is from October of 2019. The bathroom stalls were reinstalled.
Yeah.
Because you can see, and that was, look, I mean, this kid is standing at the fucking pisser, and you can look right in. This is the doors to the restroom, not the stall doors. This is the hallway doors. You can look right in and see that guy piece. You know, if he's actually just standing there, he's not actually peeing, but you know that would have been pornography. But you know, so there's another one. Oh, this is from September or January 8th of 2020. Now these kids have to have permission and be escorted to go pee because they're not allowed to have any fucking privacy. Oh, let's go down here. This is black teens being tased on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And we showed this video ad nauseum. This kid gets tased and fucking taken down like he's a hardened criminal, like full body takedown style. Like that was pretty bad. This is New Zealand. Oh no, Green Bay.
I forgot that one.
Yeah, this is the one where they're peering under the toilet cubicle.
Mm-hmm.
This is the,
I forgot Green Bay.
No, this is New Zealand. This is Green Bay, New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
They're fucking taking videos. The principal's taking pictures under the girls' bathroom stalls. I mentioned that earlier. This is San Jose. These are all fucking things. Everybody's talking about mental health and these kids being, scared and kids being abused. They're putting locks on the bathroom doors and you have to have a fucking key. You have to have permission and a damn key. Gas stations don't even do this. Well, some gas stations don't even do this. You know,
it's sad.
This is ridiculous. And you know, I'm not yelling at Charles. I'm just bringing this back up because Charles.
We say what's wrong with these kids. We don't say what's wrong with these adults anywhere near enough. Nowhere.
Yeah. This is not the same.
15.
This is British. This is Britain. Child Q, governmental taking teenage strip search extremely seriously. That's another one. That's 4 or 5 instances of strip searches in this list.
Yeah.
And this kid here got beaten by police.
Yeah.
Because they thought he was vaping. So, yeah, you know, I am not the most kindest, gentlest person when it comes to these things. You fuck with the kid. I don't even have kids because if I had kids, and I was in these, because I am fucking armed to the teeth, and people know that. If I can guarantee you, if this had happened to my little girl and the principal got off, I don't know. I can't tell you what I would do.
Yeah.
Now.
Yes, Mallory. That child.
Mallory is correct. That child that was beaten he was special needs kid too. Yeah. And
so what does that tell? What does that tell you when the FDA says, well, they're pretty smart kids, and then
they got a bullshit detector a fucking mile wide? I don't know. I got a bullshit detector a fucking mile wide. I'll tell you that for sure.
Yeah, exactly, Big Bruni. They're treating it as if it is.
Now, I'm gonna skip one of the links in the show notes. If you want to watch that, it's from Central Iowa Vapors. You can watch that. The link is there.
Fine.
But there is a link here that I thought I saw this headline, and it's from today. It's from yesterday. Before the news that JUUL was getting their stay.
Yep.
So this is from the website Lifehacker. So this is anyway, it says JUULs weren't real vaping anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And see, the problem is whether this is real or satire, there are assholes in this fucking industry that say bullshit like this.
I just don't even understand the statement. Listen.
So it says here, there has never been a better way to switch to grown-up vaping.
Oh my God.
So in news certain to cast a pall over high school bathrooms across the nation, the U.S. FDA today ordered all JUUL e-cigarette products currently marketed to be removed from store shelves effective immediately.
School's out for summer.
The company must stop selling and distributing these products. In addition, those currently on the U.S. market must be removed or risk enforcement action, the FDA said in a statement.
Good Lord.
So now, if you're hopelessly addicted to the drug JUUL provides, consider the news a wake-up call. It's time to quit nicotine. No, just kidding. We both know that that isn't happening. But it is the perfect time to switch from a cartridge-based or disposable e-cigarette to real vaping.
Oh my God. Well, let's shame someone in a national form. Let's do that, shall we?
So
Jesus
now there's a whole
Christ.
section here. Why vapors and smokers should switch to an open vaping system.
Based on the first two paragraphs, I'm losing faith in what's going to come.
So, I saw this and I started looking across here. Okay, so it says here the AV Club, Gizmodo, which we already know is a crap site.
Yeah, The Onion.
Kotaku, which is like an anime thing or manga, and then The Onion. So it has a little satire website up here, and I have to. But like I said, even if this is just satire, which I'm not confident. I think that, but I know for a fact because I've heard y'all motherfuckers, not all of you, not you.
Call them out. Call them out.
Some of you goddamn motherfuckers out there saying bullshit like this and shaming people for what works for them.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. If the Mark 10 or the JUUL or the Views or the Enjoy Daily
or
whatever
hypnosis
it is that
or a
works
book,
for
who
you,
cares?
you should not be ashamed. If that's what you like, good for you. And any mother trucker out there that says this kind of shit is more concerned about selling product than they are about helping people quit smoking.
I'm hanging my head in shame now.
Now, because I'm going to make some motherfucker famous is what I'm fixing to do, Kevin.
This is why you guys pay the premium price to come see us.
Why vapors and smokers should switch to an open vaping system.
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right,
So,
go ahead.
while there are still competing e-cigarettes on the market, some of which have already received FDA approval, if you ask Michael Kohanoff, the owner of LA-based Studio City Vapors, open vapes, devices that you fill yourself, offer significant advantages over disposable or pod-based systems.
Somebody call him and tell him we want to talk to him.
I'm going to rip this motherfucker's head right off. Is what I'm going to do. First, there's the cost. There's a little bit more to an upfront cost because you have to buy the equipment, Kohanoff explained. But in the long run, there's a significant discount. This guy's head's up his fucking ass. Let's keep going. According to the vaping wizard Matt Taylor, a Studio City Vapors clerk, it can be up to 50% cheaper to use a fillable vape as opposed to closed system like JUUL or Views. Moreover, open vapor is probably a quarter of the cost of smoking traditional non-electronic cigarettes, Taylor estimated. Along with being cheaper, having your own rig means making your own decision about what you're inhaling.
Oh my God.
You can also control the amount of nicotine in your juice and slowly start tapering off, Kohanoff says. Plus, you have only a few flavors with something like JUUL instead of limitless ones with open vaping.
Oh my fucking word. Hey Bob, you got a vape shop? Yeah, you want to do an interview? Sure.
I'm gonna skip the what is vaping. I'm gonna skip the intimidation of vape culture.
Vaping is weird.
Now I'm gonna go down here to the how to choose your first vaping device.
Oh my God. Career.
At its most basic level, you'll need two things to get started in your new career as a vapor: an e-cig rig and something to fill it with. It's possible to walk out of the door of a vape shop with a complete system for less than $30. But I think going a step up from cheapest possible option is the best move, even for beginners.
Sure.
A starter kit like the Smock X Priv 225 watt starter kit will cost you $50. It isn't overly complicated, so you'll be able to get right into things. But as you get more experienced at vaping, you'll be able to tweak the power settings to improve your experience. Plus, if you find you like a bigger tank or a different mouthpiece down the line, you can switch them out easily.
This guy has never helped anybody quit smoking in his life. Oh, I'm glad Mark's not in the room. His head probably fucking explode.
No. This is a 225 watt starter kit.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Janine Timmons. If you are a 2-pack-a-day smoker, you need your nicotine.
I just don't understand the approach.
And I don't even know what the resistance on these fucking G-Priv coils are, but I guarantee you there's not one above 0.5.
Look, you're stressing Richard out. Now calm down. This is fucking silly. Bernie's watching. Hi, Bernie.
I don't think Bernie is watching. No, I didn't see Mark. The pirate comment, but I'm sure that Tom's little doggy is, though.
This is what I loathe. Literally, this is satire or not. This is bad, stupid, and then advice is just silly.
I'm.
How the fuck did you even find this?
Google, my bitch.
You will not. I'm pretty fucking sure that I can say this with or without permission. Not find that in Vapors UK ever.
No, well,
I don't think any of us would submit it.
I need one of my LA brothers to go.
Oh my God!
Is Big Knowledge still here? I know he's not in LA. He's in North California. He's up
Jay's in LA.
Jay's too nice.
Jay's not too nice. Is he too nice?
Jay is very fucking laid back.
Okay.
I need somebody to go in there and grab this Kohanuf and shake him until something breaks loose, because this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
I don't understand. Well, I do understand.
But
you're going to sell a whole lot more liquid that way.
If this is satire,
yeah,
I still know that there are people that think this way.
Here's my real basic approach, and I imagine, I don't know for sure, I can't speak for anybody. I imagine a vape shop owner that I know, you can figure out who you are, would say, what are you smoking now? First, how much do you smoke? What strength do you need? Let's try this. Let's go from there. Devices don't matter, really. And it could quite possibly be that same vape shop owner might say, you know, if you haven't tried a JUUL, they may work. If you want to try that, come back. If it don't, there are owners that I know have done that. There are owners that I know that have had people come in and switch from a JUUL and go, wow, this is a lot better. So I hope that, you're welcome, Tom. I'm not sure what I did. I'm hoping that that's the approach that everyone would take, and your repeat customer isn't necessarily that customer, it may be their friends. Goodwill. What are you staring at?
Well, you unsent 3 tweets or three private messages.
Oh, those are what we already showed, covered, discussed. Oh. So it would lessen my silliness on the search.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the reduced nicotine real quick. I have to talk about something that exasperates me less than the thing that I just talked about that really fucking exasperated me.
Did I ever tell you that the nicotine addiction mantra saying is a multi-billion-dollar global lie? Have I ever told you that? Have I? I don't think you believe me.
I taught you that.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I think Dr. Glover has mentioned it.
I think you're putting the cart in front of the horse.
Dr. Gardner has brought it up. Go on with your bad self. Oh, the drink? Hey, you're very freaking welcome.
I need somebody to get me a Yingling from the refrigerator now.
This is your money's worth, guys. I'm telling you. That was fun. Look at this idiot.
There's more Robert Califf we're going to talk about Robert Califf for the next few minutes.
I wouldn't let anybody take his handle and do anything to him, but I'll link that tweet.
So this is from the current head of the FDA. It says nicotine is powerfully addictive, making cigarettes and other combusted tobacco products minimally addictive or non-addictive would help save lives. So he's over tweeting an FDA tweet that says, today the administration published plans for potential regulatory actions that include our plans to develop a proposed product standard establishing a maximum nicotine level to reduce addictiveness of cigarettes and certain other combusted products. Now, if you'll go down, this douchebag actually wants to coattail ride better men than him. The U.S. Surgeon General has reported 87% of adult smokers start smoking before age 18. That is not the current. The current Surgeon General is a piece of shit. This is stolen valor. This is a previous Surgeon General that was actually better.
Wrong.
Saying this.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Yeah. This is from the original. The original awesome Surgeon General, not the last 2 pieces of shit. Anyway, lowering nicotine levels to minimally addictive or non-addictive levels would decrease the likelihood that future generations of young people become addicted to cigarettes and help more currently addicted cigarette smokers quit. So, I don't know. Does this do this for you, Kevin? It always puts the best tweets right as the next tweet. You see that?
I see it.
Yeah. So it says some smart guy says wisdom would teach any intelligent regulator that reducing the chemicals that cause harm would be the smart thing to do, Caliph. Reducing nicotine does not reduce the cancer-causing agents or respiratory irritants. The actual harmful stuff is still there. Genius plan. So I clicked on that just to show that there was a very smart guy, Hans-Peter Albrecht.
Oh, I say Hans. You say Hans. I don't know.
Hans-Peter Albrecht.
He's got some good ones. By the way,
he's a very intelligent young man. He says, please fill in the blank. Thoroughly thought out in union with blank, big tobacco, big pharma, whatever. There is more than one correct answer, but one will suffice. One answer equals 1 point. And then Kevin decides, look at all these different asshole organizations here.
Union, I thought you meant unison. Those are literally the signed people and organizations, nonprofit political front groups, who have encouraged more cigarettes. That's all. The big giant head is broken. And that little graphic shows the things that are staying in cigarettes and the things that aren't.
Yes, all the bad stuff. And we have verification from 21st second or 22nd century. They admitted all of the poisons, they're still there at the same levels that they were before. The only thing that they're reducing is the nicotine, and people smoke for the nicotine but die from the tar. And in that particular quote is not referring to tar that you use to make roofing tiles and things like that. It is total aerosol residue. It is an acronym.
Yeah.
So, and then Jared says, and of course, as cigarettes become less addictive, and presumably smokers will steadily buy less and less of them, thus leading to lower profits for the tobacco industry. That won't in any way affect. Well, either way. So he's gonna buy the company line that people are gonna smoke less, and that then MSA funds will dry up.
Oh wait,
but no, I have to respond. This plan will result in people who smoke for nicotine buying more cigarettes to get it, and buying more cigarettes, smoking more cigarettes, and absorbing more carcinogens and respiratory irritants, and increasing the morbidity of smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So. There was a response. The most crooked kind of virtue signaling make it look like everyone like they're fighting big tobacco whilst maintaining the cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
And then Josh says, or it could create a new war on drugs, more crime and murders and broken families. The war on drugs is going the opposite way for that reason. Governments always learn slow. No, governments never learn. So we already know that prohibition doesn't work. We already know that in America, at least, when you tell us no.
Yeah, well, we're gonna. Hold my beer.
I will guarantee you there will be truckloads and truckloads and fucking truckloads of cigarettes coming across the southern border into the United States the moment that the cartels figure out that they can actually buy something legally produced in their country and put it in a truck and send it to America and charge 10 times what they can at home.
Yeah.
They're going to do it.
Faster than a rabbit gets fucked.
And they're not gonna be upset if a truckload of cigarettes gets caught at the border, because they can just go buy more at their local Walmart in Mexico City. I mean, we do have Walmarts in Mexico, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not.
It's not.
There is. I mean, that they don't even have to grow illegal crops for this. This is like easy money for them.
It's already there. I'm sorry you see two Patricks. I really am, Janine.
It's the two Kevins that I'm really afraid of.
I do not understand.
And
why?
And let's not forget that the Native American e-cigarette products, or not e-cigarette, cigarette products, are not regulated by the FDA. And they'll be available. People will be driving across the country to go to a res to go buy Native Spirit cigarettes.
Yeah. It's not even a question. It's not even a consideration of. I don't think so. This is going to happen.
People are going to smoke more of the. They're going to buy the crappy cigarettes that they can get, the 22nd century VLNs.
Sure.
Or whatever Marlboro is forced to manufacture if this goes through. To be clear, this is an ANPRM. Those of you that have been around for a while know what that means. An advance notice of proposed rulemaking. So they're putting up and this ANPRM. It is going to be here. I'll show it. So right now, the docket isn't even open yet. But this will be a notice of a proposed rulemaking. At regulations.gov or the registrar.gov, either one of those websites, there will be this docket. And all you'll have to do is actually type in nicotine and cigarettes, and it'll in the search, and it'll pull up this docket once it's opened for public comment. And then you have this actually will be open for a substantial amount of time. You'll make a comment, and then they will read those comments and do nothing with them and make up their own mind, whatever they're going to already do.
That's correct.
But that's what an advanced notice of proposed rulemaking.
Yeah.
It is a legal requirement. They cannot change a regulation willy-nilly. They have tried, and we have smacked their ass a couple times for it. But it is the process. So the rulemaking will occur. I think the e-cigarette one, that docket had more comments than any other advanced notice of proposed rulemaking in the history of regulations.gov.
You think?
Because not only were we in there, but also the cigar people were in there. You know, it wasn't just us. It was all of the newly deemed products were part of that ANPRM. But something like 300,000 public comments were made to that docket. And it was open for a while. And then they closed it, and then they added something, and then there was a second ANPRM that was tied to that one. So those got included with
Was
that.
that the 2016 one?
2014 one.
2014. I believe I put the survey in that one.
Yes.
In my comments.
Well, the 2014 one was opened in 2014 and then closed in 2015, and then reopened in 20. Right. It's the same one.
Right.
It was all of that docket.
Yeah.
Was everything all in one.
I'm part of
that.
But
yeah, for those of you that aren't aware of what that was, I wanted you guys to know what it.
And Mowgli, I personally have a friend.
You have a friend.
Nobody's going to believe that on Patrick's side. There's a friend on my Facebook who I've known forever that literally puts New Hampshire run. What do you need? You know, and multiple times a year, you know, does that. So 13 black market. Doesn't sound too crazy.
There's no doubt in my mind.
No, the smokers are going to do what they need to do. And Mexico is going to go, opportunity. this is going to work. And really, you can take a carton of smokes across the border, I imagine. I've never been across that border. I was going to say, can you bring more than one?
You can bring two legally from Mexico.
So you and your 4 friends can make a little cash right there at the border. That's good. Excellent.
So I have another Caleb tweet.
I know you do.
I have another Caleb tweet.
I know you do.
And this one has video, Kevin. I have to pause this, though.
Oh, you're going to show that one. Okay.
Well, yeah.
I'll shut up.
Let's play the video.
So are there people within the FDA who are trying to research ways in which true factual information can emerge and trump the disinformation?
So Caleb said, like, he's going to make misinformation a priority during his current stand at the top of the FDA, because he's been at the top of the FDA twice now.
Yeah.
So there has been multiple occasions where he has tweeted that his main mission is going to be to counter bad science and bad information.
Yeah. Mallory said she can barely hear it. Turn it up.
I know I can't. It's already maxed out. That's it. There's no way. Yeah, I will I will crank up my headphone volume. Let's see if that changes anything.
Emerging network of scholars and people, and we know so much about it now. But I would
I
also
don't know what to do about it.
That's where I was going. I have not heard anyone that has a solution to the problem that's likely to work. And I've talked with just about all the experts. One nice thing about FDA commissioner in general, if you call somebody, they return the call or will come to see you. So we've got to keep working on the strategy. There are people at FDA working on it, but it's got to be all of government. But also 100% of experts agree government cannot solve this. We have too much mistrust
Bullshit.
in fundamental institutions in this country. Can I pick on my academic medical center colleagues again? I mean, universities are here to find the truth and promote it. How much effort is going into, at the fundamental grassroots level of the people we interact with, combating misinformation?
They're not combating misinformation at all. They're funding misinformation.
They're creating it.
Yeah.
So
he's bitching about universities, and they're the ones that are giving the grants to the universities to create the nonsense and the lies.
He just literally tweeted this year, since he's been in office or whatever it is, position, that he hopes professional societies ramp it up a little bit. Well, professional societies are nonprofit political front groups. So he's encouraging that, and yet he wants to. All I said was, how about you stop doing it? And that might help. We don't know what to do. We're not sure.
Yeah, no.
We have no
I do
idea.
not use OBS. We use StreamYard. We don't use OBS. But no, if the volume on the video is low, I can't make it higher. It is what it is. It's their video. I didn't create it.
That one is so sad.
Yeah. But
it
yeah,
looks good on
is,
paper.
that is the current head of the FDA taking no responsibility for the problem that they created.
No, not at all.
So, and Mallory says we have the solution: ID checks, ID swipes, or get fined or lose tobacco licenses or businesses. See, the problem with that, Mallory, is when we made that suggestion, and we did to all of the all of the trade groups. None of the trade groups would agree to it because, oh, well, that's going to cost money. You know, those ID things, they charge us 25 cents per sale and blah, 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 blah. So in the state of Texas, we didn't make it mandatory, but we did include in the language of the bill that passed that the only active defense that you have in the case of straw purchases or sting sales or underage sales is if you have an electronic age verification system and you use it. If you don't have that, then you actually you have no defense. If some teenager tells the police that he bought it at your shop, even if he didn't, you have no defense because you are hard-headed and stupid.
Yeah.
I said to VTA and Safada multiple times over the years that all of your members should be forced, whether they want to or not, to have electronic age verification, and they said no. It's not our job. And I quote from Safada, it is not our job to police our members. So, yeah. I could pull that private message up from about 8 years ago when we made that suggestion 8 years ago. And let's not forget when Dimitri and Phil and a couple other guys tried to do the vape-free youth system.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all all fucking shat on this. So I don't even talk about that.
I signed up on that as vaping links. I didn't know if they would even accept me. So few people knew about it, you know?
No, I mean...
Well, yeah, they knew. I know.
I mean, at the time, we had a couple hundred people signed up. And at the time, there was over like 18,000 vape shops in the United States and vape businesses in the United States. And we could only get a couple hundred people to sign up for it. And then people were like, that was when certain people started making accusations at Phil, or not Phil, at Dimitri and Phil, that they were big tobacco puppets.
See, the way I see it is, if you have to be 18, now 21, you have to be. That's it. And you should card, period. Well, not should, you shall.
Every tobacco, like every beer every beer purchase and every cigarette purchase here in Texas, you can't complete the sale without swiping an ID.
And there is software and hardware for this to happen. There's no question.
Yeah. The sale will not go through. You don't get to the tender part of the sale until you've swiped that fucking ID. If we had instituted that 8 years ago, we could say, look, we have voluntarily adopted this program 100% in every dedicated vape shop in the United States.
I would assume
we could have used that as a fucking defense. We could have said, look, we've done our due diligence and done everything possible to prevent kids from getting it. If kids are getting these products, they're getting them from their older friends or from the wino down the street that will walk in and buy it for them, which we have no way of stopping as long as the wino has an ID. When I was in college, that's how we got beer.
Right, exactly.
We'd give the wino a $5 bill, in addition to go buy us a 12-pack of beer.
Wouldn't you think even now, I don't frequent bars, I haven't for years, but wouldn't you think even the bars that are carding, that are able, big enough, they're carding you on the door to begin with.
To get in, yeah.
To get in even. Bar. And wouldn't that be simpler just to scan something as you're walking through and go, hey, boy, you can't go in here, I don't know that happens anymore. Somebody might in the crowd, but if I were a bartender, certainly
and
I would
I know that this is going to hurt Mark's feelings, and I love Mark, but I don't think someone under the age of 21, since that's the legal age, should be anywhere inside of a vape shop.
Gotcha. I know what you mean.
It's not because I think that somebody's gonna but it's just the way it looks. It's the visuals. If you have a vape shop and you have a Lego table, which I've been to vape shops that have like a Lego table for kids to play at while mommy and daddy are shopping.
Yep.
It looks bad. Looks bad. And now we're at this,
Our tobacco shop here, when I was still smoking, wouldn't let my son in. But it also depended on how it was displayed. The one on this side of town does. The one over there does not. I'd never been to it. They were closed. I went. He said, he can't come in here. I said, why not? He said, it's illegal. I said, I don't understand, but go out to the car. I went to the other one a few days later, and I said, why did he tell me that? And she said, well, his display is easily accessible. And I said, oh, okay, I got you.
So this is your version of the tweet.
Yeah, I liked, well, that's a different quote tweet though, isn't it?
No, anyway. This is the same one. If I click on the quote tweet, right, and then I click, this is the tweet, and he's just saying thank you for giving me the space to do this. Yeah. And then Lance took his thank you and over tweeted that.
Yeah. And I chose Lance. Lance is a sharp person as well. I'm assuming you follow him. Stunning ignorance in this statement to Dr. Califf, that misinformation and disinformation are now arguably the lead causes of death in America, and people are dying for completely preventable reasons. Don't you get it, Dr. Califf? You are why people are dying for completely preventable reasons. Now, That is louder. That is what I'm talking about. Do not let up. I don't say, piss, moan, cuss, fuck, piss, shit, whatever. Tell them exactly what you think in a properly worded tweet is way more powerful than saying you're an asshole. That's all. That's what I'm saying. That's why I chose that. I liked the way he worded that.
Yeah, for Mallory earlier was saying that she couldn't find a source for the appeal.
Yeah.
And I said, just look on my Twitter, anywhere on my Twitter. You'll see it like 20 times. Here, there's one, two. There's a Guy Bentley tweet.
That Guy Bentley, I don't know. Yeah. So,
then here's AVM. They're tweeting there. There. So yeah, it's there. It's been sourced.
When you go back up and click on Dr. Caliph's quote tweet of him and his girlfriend there, if you scan down that, you'll probably. I didn't look. There's Mr. Foch. there's enough to get you going. That's all I'm saying. I may or may not be in there, but yeah, there's a lot of angry people.
But I mean, Tom says that he's in New Zealand. In New Zealand, I think he's in New Zealand. Is he? I can't remember. Is he a Kiwi or is he an Aussie? I
don't know.
They're all the same.
Is a kiwi a fruit or a vegetable? I forget.
Kiwi is a fruit.
It's something my mother used to say.
Okay, so here's the thing, Kevin. If you cut it open and there are seeds inside, it is a fruit.
I would never eat a kiwi anyway. I don't eat kiwi. I just am repeating something my mother used to say.
They're very sweet. They're very nice.
Are they really? Well, maybe I'll try one. And he's a kiwi.
They're tart if they're not exactly where they need to be on their ripeness scale.
Tom's a kiwi. Show that beautiful bean footage of Tom and his pup. Don't you have some bean footage of him? Huh?
No, I have picture of him in my T-shirt.
Oh, I thought he had his pup.
There's no pup in that picture.
Oh, all right. Well,
except for some reason my Facebook is really slow. Here, I'll show it. Right, boom, it's right there.
There he is. Look at him. In all his Son of Liberty radio power and glory. Yeah, strawberry seeds are outside. What's that? Is that fruit or vegetable?
That is a berry.
Oh, man. See? All right, fine.
Seriously?
Caliph. Jesus Christ.
It is a berry. Like tomato. Tomato is a fruit.
Tomato. It is a fruit. I knew that. Ain't that dumb?
Well, I mean, if I cut you open, are there seeds inside of you because you're fruity too?
Probably. just sweet goodness. That's all I'm.
See, now Tom is leaving because you made me show his picture.
Oh, see, I've decided my grandson, by the way, is like he's so sweet that he's like a 35-pound bag of sugar. That's what he is. Except when he says calm down. That didn't go.
Eggplant also has seeds on the inside. And it's really good if you slice it like this thick and then you brush it with olive oil and you throw it in the air fryer.
Mm-hmm.
That's good shit right there. And I hate eggplant, and I love it prepared that way.
All this extra information is at no extra cost to you guys, by the way. Just so you know.
And you get a little bit of nicotine.
Right.
It's not much, but there's some in there.
It's there. You'd never know it.
It is present.
Right. There's so little there that nobody knows it.
Well, according to some scientists from Australia, that is not true because the only plant that has nicotine in it is tobacco.
Are you talking about Chimpman?
No.
Oh.
TT.
Oh, because if you were now see, you're calling somebody else a scientist who isn't, and certainly Chipman isn't. But either way, that's here nor there.
Neither here nor there.
They can barely read the paper. Neither of them can actually probably read the paper.
He does have a degree on social media, apparently. But he has like 200 followers. But yeah,
socio-political stupidity. Great.
So speaking of more child abuse, Charlie says Australia, today's top WTF news story: schools across Australia are installing silent vape detectors that email alerts to teachers, who then lock students inside the bathroom so they can check them for vapes. Hey, there's your Nautilus right there. That's an inspired Nautilus.
Oh, speaking of which, you notice I don't have our normal clusterfuck band on, right? So I took it off because I was cleaning them. So I threw them in the sink and I let them dry. I walked out to take her to the store or something, and guess what happened? Psh, right on the damn floor. Broke my damn. I had extra glass, so I'm happy. But now I got 3 on there. Not even 2. I got 3.
How do you know if it's got liquid in it anymore?
I got to pull them up and look.
Okay. So Charlie says, seriously, if a teacher locked my child in the bathroom, there would be hell to pay. Charlie and I are on the same fucking page. And then Ivana, friend of the show.
Who is this lovely woman?
She's been on the show at least twice. Yes. Youth love to be searched. We know full well this would never be done for cigarettes. As a parent, do that to any one of my children and there'd be big time hell to pay. This moral panic of vape madness is just going too far. Detectors could give off false alarms too. So speaking of vape madness,
I don't know how you get so much footage of me. Really don't.
That is not some weird, creepy, redheaded guy.
Fuck. I don't know what the laws are in drop bear land. Bernie, can you just lock people in a freaking bathroom?
Well, they are a prison colony, so they,
Speaking of Orwell Lane, double plus good, you can just lock them in. That'd be all right. Double plus good. I don't know who Eldest on the farm just off Orwell Lane is, but good evening.
Oh, Aldous is my friend from Comic World. But he's a smoker, and I fully support his choice to continue to smoke. Even though poor Aldous is going to get fucked over in a year because they're going to reduce the amount of nicotine in cigarettes, and he's going to smoke twice as many cigarettes now and get cancer earlier.
Because that's not true. That's untrue.
All of the carcinogens are there at the same levels.
No, that
the only thing they've reduced is the nicotine, Kevin.
No.
And those of us that choose to ingest nicotine. He's a smart man. He says, not at all. I grow and dry my own. Smart fella.
You're the man. So
and Aldous, don't worry, my friend.
There's
I have
a fault.
liquid nicotine. I can send you some if you want to.
There's a fault in your statement.
What?
They have spent over $100 million to reduce nicotine in a brand of
No. But their new ANPRM that is going to open for comment is going to be forced. Is going to institute a maximum level of nicotine,
right?
Which will be below what the current level is,
right?
And their idea is to reduce the level of nicotine so that it will no longer maintain a level of
that's the theory. That's the theory.
No, it's just going to make people smoke more fucking cigarettes.
No, not that part. The idea and the theory and the path that we're on is also correct so far. Here's what's going to happen. This is going to hang in litigation longer than we're going to be alive. When it finally gets through, and it will eventually, and we'll long be dead, then what's going to happen is...
I have to interrupt you real quick.
Sure.
And hold your thought.
Yep.
So Aldous says they're going to mandate lower nicotine levels across all cigarettes and that they are leaving the cigar industry alone, though, interestingly. It's not all cigarettes or not all cigars. Only what they consider to be premium cigars are not under FDA's purview because a federal judge granted them their own thing and then ordered the FDA to give millions of dollars to the premium cigar manufacturers to help them with their research to approve their premium cigar applications. They did not give anybody else any money to help pay for their multi-million-dollar applications, but the premium cigar manufacturers were given because how many federal judges actually like a stogie? Right. But anyway, go on, Kevin.
So when they finally figure this out, the plan for 22nd Century's bigger plan is because they're in the cannabis space. The bigger plan for them is to sell their patent to produce lower nicotine cigarettes, which isn't going to happen because every other BAT has already done it. PM has already done it. They've already had this technology for years.
Well,
whether or not it's going to be to the standard the FDA wants is another issue, which will take it into litigation for the next 40 years.
They actually don't need a new patent because there is a process that occurs during the aging, the processing where they actually use ammonium to crack the nicotine molecule open.
Yes.
That boosts the amount of bioavailable nicotine in the currently existing tobacco. The other thing is that the tobacco. I saw vaping Mike is in there.
Good evening, Mike.
The other thing is that the tobacco plant that is used in vaping, for example, is not the same tobacco that is used in combustible cigarettes. So they already have bioengineered variants of all of. So the tobacco that we use for pharmaceutical grade nicotine has been engineered to produce more nicotine than the nicotine that is used in the Virginia that is used in regular combustible cigarettes.
XYZ.
So there are so many different ways for them to produce a reduced nicotine cigarette by using a different variety of tobacco.
And they can stop adding things to it.
And they could remove that one process, the ammonium process. They could remove that one process out of the aging, the processing of the tobacco,
but they're not
already
sugar's still going to stay, right?
Oh, sugar's always going to stay. The chocolate's going to stay. All of the other
licorice
flavoring additives that they use.
Licorice is going to stay. Right?
I have a friend that's a mod maker that was a sales rep for a tobacco company.
Ooh.
And he said on the first day they take you into a room and there's this long table with all this stuff, and these are all of the different things they use in the process of making their variety of tobacco taste different than Marlboro tastes different than Winston versus Camel. And it's not only that it's a different variety of tobacco in, say, Camel, which is a Turkish versus, it's a different blend, but they also have in the aging room smokers that smoke different types of wood. They do all sorts of different things. They throw dried fruit into the smoker as well to give the tobacco a different flavor. And it's the same thing they do with pipe tobaccos. It's all, a flavoring process.
And
so all of those things are still going to be there. Those are not considered flavoring agents,
right,
like flavored vaping products.
The other part of this, Patrick, is and I'm all for it. I hope these lower nicotine cigarettes work for any of the trolls who are in or going to be in the room eventually someday. If it works, that's great. It might help people quit. That's great. But if it doesn't, and they also force the other companies to do the same thing because they think it will, then what's going to happen to the Master Settlement Agreement and its funds? So are they not thinking of that? Is that something they're not? You can't tell me.
The federal government is not, and the FDA itself is not a beneficiary of the Master Settlement Agreement.
Correct.
Those are the states that are signatory members, the original 46 states plus the 4 additional states. Those are all direct financial beneficiaries of the MSA.
Can you imagine?
The federal government doesn't give a shit about that, other than the fact that they're going to have to bail those states out.
Can you imagine the bailout?
Well, the states that have not refied their bonds, because they all took out bonds. Every one of them took out bonds. Some of them have actually moved to pay them off, while others have just spent that money and have refied at a higher interest rate. Through World Bank or through Chinese banks or whatever, they're eventually going to have to pay that shit back. So the people that are in the states,
there's going to be some explanations wanted, aren't there? And you know why I thought that? The other day I heard a gas tax relief or something. I don't want to go into it, but one state on the news, it said, I don't know if it was Ohio, but I'll use Ohio. Ohio can't do that because it's all tied into investments, basically, is what it was. And I thought, I wonder how they're going to do that with the settlement agreement in each state. If they ever get to the point that they don't have to have cigarettes anymore, what are they going to do?
There will never be a time in human history
we're going to be dead. Right.
Where people will not. I mean, people have smoked tobacco.
Yeah.
At least since the 1400s.
At minimum.
No, I mean, tobacco was not introduced to Europe until Christopher Columbus came here.
Yeah, they brought it here. They said, "Here, take this, do that."
And
this is great.
He saw that the Indians were smoking and like, let's try what they're doing. That looks like they're having fun. Let's do that. Yeah. Oh, and let's introduce them to some really nasty diseases that are nothing to us because we've developed immunities. But hey, fuck everybody else. Not that I want to get into that, but
all I know is we're going to be dead. It won't matter, and so will the people who are supposed to be being accountable, Mr. Califf, et cetera, et cetera. So. It ain't gonna matter.
Yeah, I mean, the head of the FDA says that he's gonna spend all of his time and effort battling misinformation.
Sure.
He's talking specifically about COVID, but
of course,
and of course, he's not talking about this because admittedly, look, we have their own mouthpieces saying, look, we know what we know, but we're not going to tell people what we know because it doesn't fit comfortably into our narrative.
And whoever's in charge now should not be saying anything because they're not. They're not saying a word now. After the fact they do. Gottlieb,
Gottlieb's a piece. I mean, I opened the door by talking about the Surgeon General Jerome Adams, who is unimportant because he's no longer the Surgeon General. But Gottlieb is so far removed from this. Like, he did nothing when he was the head of the FDA. Nothing, literally nothing, other than protect his big pharma interests and get himself a job.
Yep.
After he left the FDA, which he has a very lucrative job on the board of Pfizer now. And every once in a while, he'll tweet something on the internet that's actually accurate that he would never have tweeted when he was the head of the FDA.
No.
Because he's got no dogs in that hunt no more.
Nope.
It's not important to him anymore. It's not going to cost him his job.
We weren't important when he was, and now we're not important when he's not.
So, yeah, I mean, he's like, I already opened the door to bring in irrelevant assholes into the conversation earlier. So you can bring up Gottlieb if you want to.
Well, thank you.
I draw the line at Sinar, though. You can't talk about the Sinar amendment. No politician in the United States, except for maybe Sinar, gives a fuck about that amendment. None.
I think he's dead, isn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably dead.
Because if he was alive, I would want to talk to him.
Shake him until it breaks or something.
I imagine that the intent was pure, but other than that, I'd like to have a chat with the guy just to see what he's thinking.
Let's create a threshold that we can hold states to withhold government funding, and then when nobody's looking, we'll just increase that threshold. It's not important.
We'll modify it. We'll make it easier. We'll give them a grace period.
Yeah,
but we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah, let's just put this out here, so that it makes everybody think that we're doing something.
There.
Let's create a percentage, because it takes an act of Congress to make a law, right? Once the law is made, to change that, no big deal. It's a line item on a budget. It's an amendment on an omnibus funding bill. It's one sentence. We can add to edit when the omnibus bill gets signed into law, because it's must pass legislation, because we don't want the government to close down tomorrow. So we got to pass this bill, and everybody starts negotiating their pet projects. I won't sign this. I will vote no if you don't let me keep my shit in. So you got to take out something that I don't like, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's how this works.
Hey,
back in old timey days, we passed individual legislative items. Now we can't pass shit. So what we have to do is create a 5,000-page bill encompassing 100 different legislative items.
Yeah.
That nobody's gonna fucking read. I'm already using the bad words again. That nobody's going to read, and nobody has time to read, because we're gonna bring it out, we're gonna introduce it, and we're gonna vote on it in 3 hours.
Because everybody put their 2 cents in, and they're going to get their return on their money quickly. That's why.
I gotta get my shit taken care of, because I want my voters to vote for me.
Wink.
So I got to be able to go to them and say, "Look what I did for you. Vote for me."
Wink, wink, wink. Do you see my shirt?
No, because you're small. Let me remove this share screen here, so that now show your boobies. Cigarettes kill millions, governments make billions. That's not bad.
See that?
I didn't design that one.
It just came in the mail. Couldn't believe it. Anyway,
everybody say goodbye to Aldous.
Good
He's
night.
He's going to
Good
bed.
night,
He doesn't
sir.
have the stamina. He doesn't have the stamina.
Jesus. Oh, Mike, I'm glad you're in here.
I haven't seen Mike. Mike has been hiding from us.
I told him you were going to screw with me with Jerry earlier, and that I didn't like you. I tagged you and everything.
Mike's using his poor health and being hospitalized and having to be rehabilitated and blah 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 blah. I was almost dead. Blah 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 blah.
I think he's starting to feel better. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, I think he's a wuss. He could have been broadcasting this whole time. We used to have. We used to have like 6
I'm
different
almost
hosts.
dead.
We used to have 6 different hosts doing shows every night. Now
It's the Mike's almost dead show, right? Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mike is into some pretty weird esoteric stuff. He could probably still do a live stream as a ghost. I'm just saying.
All I know is you can't do it if you're dead. So
Sure you can.
Leave that man alone.
This technology is so easy now. It's like a couple clicks. Here you are. You're ready.
You know what we should do is we should try to get some pre-recorded crap and then just try to have a show like that with each other. I'll record some stuff. You record some stuff. We'll mesh it together. And we'll pretend we're talking to Caleb.
You know what it is we will record. Let's record a video.
Yeah.
And then not tell anybody that we recorded a video.
Ooh.
And then we'll broadcast it like we're live next week.
Yeah.
And we won't actually be here.
And then laugh and giggle and snicker and knee slapper.
And then everybody will be upset that we're not responding to their chats.
Right.
But
right.
we'll just build that into the show. We'll be like, we're not looking at the chat room, Kip.
All this live thought stuff is at no extra cost, you guys. I don't know if you guys are appreciating this.
And I haven't seen any super chats at all.
I've seen a couple.
I used to get fake super chats all the time.
We did get.
I'm not even getting fake super chats anymore.
I think Chris gave me one because I said the word chocolate, and he said he gave me like 10 grand or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was pretty hefty.
That hurts my feelings.
I
might cry.
Let's send him out there in California. He'll be all right.
Who?
Chris.
Well, he's in Oakland, and LA is substantially. It's a big distance away.
Oh, all right. Well, still. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Be like,
see, Omis Idol just gave me a $90,000 US super chat. Thank you. Dang. Thank you for your imaginary money, Omis Idol.
Psychotic
I'm just gonna add a thing on the bottom of the screen with my Venmo.
Thanks for super chats. Yeah.
With my Venmo, just
My Venmo. Oh.
For I don't know why, but for some reason when Venmo came out, I thought it was specifically about liquor for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was just to send money to people to buy booze. Or maybe it was just because I wanted people to send me money to buy booze.
I was going to say that sounds a little psychotic, but all right.
I don't know why.
Because you were thirsty.
Because Venmo sounds like some sort of liquor thing. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But I really would. I really would appreciate somebody sending me some money to buy booze. That's all I'm saying.
You don't even want money. You just want booze.
I really don't need the money. I have a good job. I have a nice house. I have a roof over my head. I really don't need the money, but free booze would be okay. I'm not gonna lie. There is a new Metallica rye whiskey that I really want to try, and it's not expensive. It's not expensive, but if somebody wanted to give me money to try it, their actual bourbon was pretty damn good. For it being a sort of a what's the word I want to use? It was
you're missing it.
I read it. I saw Mowgli Vape say that a Go Booze Me campaign. Yeah. There are a lot of celebrities that are trying to enter into the booze market.
Yeah.
For it being one of those kind of celebrity projects, the Metallica bourbon is actually quite good.
I had a message.
The Bob Dylan bourbon is actually very good.
If you take the ticker tape thing at the bottom and tell everybody what you want to drink the following week and your address, then you might have something just pop in the mail.
I don't no. I just watched a documentary on Netflix this afternoon when I came home from work.
Yeah.
It's a 6-part documentary series about horror. Basically, it's horror stories from the internet, about the internet. And the very first episode is about a guy who I don't know if you've ever heard of this practice of people swatting people on the internet.
No.
But what they do is they use an identity mask on their phone. There's I guess you can do via voice over IP so that their phone number, they can mask their phone number, and they call 911 and say, I've done something bad. I've killed somebody or whatever. And the 911 operator, they'll say, "Are you armed?" And they say, "Yes." "Where are you at?" "And this is my address." And they send the SWAT to your house.
Okay, I have heard of, or I've seen that somewhere. I don't remember where.
I watched this episode.
Jeez.
It's called Swatting. Yeah. I watched this episode of this documentary, and this guy starts out as a teenager, and he's doing it as a prank. He's called schools. He, called the TV channel. He got sent to prison for a few years. He came out, and he had scared his grandmother, who he was living with, so he couldn't live with her anymore. She got a restraining order, and then he started doing it for money. Like he's so good at it that people would hit him up on Twitter, and he would do it for like $20.
Oh, Jesus.
And apparently it was big in the gaming world. Like, like online gamers were swatting each other during competitions and things. But apparently these two guys had a fight over Call of Duty, and one of them hired this guy to swat the other guy.
Wow.
And the guy saw that this infamous swatter had just followed him on Twitter. So he DM'd him. He says, "Go ahead and swat me. You're a piece of shit," or whatever. And he gave him an address in like Missouri or Ohio or Indiana, one of those. And the SWAT goes up, and they're over the bullhorn because they're there with their AR-15s and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And this guy opens the door, and he's confused. They're having family dinner, and a cop from like 75 meters away shoots him and kills him because he's hearing all these different instructions from all these people, and he's not doing what they say. So they just, within 7 seconds of him opening the door, he was dead.
Wow.
Empty-handed, unarmed, everything. And ultimately, when they found out that what had happened, like, they convicted the two Call of Duty kids that were fighting with each other, one for hiring the swatter and one for taunting the swatter and giving the wrong address, and then the swatter himself. But the cop that did the shooting got off completely, no problem at all. And
you like booze, but not that much.
I have never been like, there are people in this chat room that actually know my address.
Holy crap.
And y'all all know my fucking name.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm like, after watching this, I'm like, maybe I should have been more anonymous on the Facebook and on everything, Maybe I was wrong about turning, because before we all had nicknames and nobody knew who the hell we were.
Right, yeah.
And then when I started writing for the magazine, I sort of had to write with my real name.
Maybe if we just send it X delivery, we could just do that, and then you might not get it.
It'll never get here.
Sorry, Mike, I had to throw that in. X delivery, when you really don't want it to come. So,
but yeah, I've watched 3 or 4 episodes of this show. There's only 6 episodes.
I'm scared to watch it.
All about really scary shit that happens on the internet.
Well, did they cover the FDA yet, or is that an upcoming up? No, all right. I'm just checking.
There is other documentary series about the FDA. Obviously, The Pharmacist, which we have talked about on this show.
You got me to watch it.
Amazing series. That is an amazing series.
Well worth
your time.
Well worth your time to see it.
There is a really cool psychedelic mushroom one that has nothing to do with FDA, but is really mind blowing. You should watch that one too.
I've not seen it yet.
Just saying. Magic mushrooms are awesome. You should
That's
watch it.
That's what I've been told. A couple times I've been told that.
Yeah. But Kevin, I think other than talking about the Supreme Court and abortions and
Mirandas and abortions and gun rights and
Miranda. Here's the thing: Miranda is still Miranda. I don't know what people are idiots and can't fucking read. So Miranda is still Miranda. The only thing is that you cannot civilly sue the police officer for fucking up, which is what I mean. You can sue the police. But you can't sue the actual police officer.
But this is how this is read. Miranda, oh no, there's no more Miranda rights. That's the first thing that people are.
It's like the Roe v. Wade thing. I have an opinion on the topic, but it is not my decision. I mean, it's not my place to tell people what to do. And that is a discussion that they will have to have with their creator at a later date. It's not my job. I cannot and will not fight for choice in this area and not in that area. Your decisions and the actions that you take in your lifetime are your responsibility.
That's it.
That's it. And I don't have a problem with the Supreme Court saying that it's not the federal government's decision or right either, that it should be left up to the states.
Right.
If you don't like what your government is doing in your state, elect other people. Somebody has to ultimately decide, you know what, that's not what they voluntarily removed authority from the federal government, which I'm okay with. The federal government has too much authority to begin with now. So, women, you have to fight that battle in your state now.
So with that being said, your decision, tending to agree with 99% of that. What is the standard of that decision in other decisions, like what we do or what we're talking about? is each state going to decide what's legal to vape, smoke / whatever, or is it the federal government that's making
the argument from the beginning has always been we didn't want to do that because then we would be fighting in 50 different islands.
Correct, and that's why I asked the question.
But I actually think we should have been fighting in 50 different islands this entire time.
That's where I was kind of at, because that's where it's going to end up, is what I thought to begin with. I always thought.
It would take a Supreme Court decision in this case, basically saying that the FDA doesn't have the authority to regulate these products as tobacco products, as they Judge Leon.
We're too far in.
Leon said in the satiric. Well, I mean, if we had had money then, we could have appealed it to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Ultimately, it's a money thing. I don't think that the FDA should have authority over these products. As far as I'm concerned, this is not food, drug, or alcohol.
This has nothing to do with them and everything to do with them. Right. Exactly.
Right. So, I mean, if it was my druthers, then, I would think that we would have a more successful dialogue on a state by state level, than we would with regulators that constantly say we have the authority, but we don't know how we're going to do it. That's essentially what happened in this case. Is they damn well wanted the authority, they damn well fought to get it, and then they said, oh, well, we really don't have the right processes in place to do this properly. We don't have the right amount of staff. We need a bigger budget. But damn, we want to regulate these products. We want to have this. I mean, they went to court to get this. Yeah. And then when they got it, they're like, well, we can't really do this. Yeah. I mean, the CTP, we I've showed you the numbers on this. They have around, it says around. There's no exact number, but around 1,000 employees. Mm-hmm. To regulate Several thousand products.
Yeah.
And I know I know that there was one company in Texas that registered like 100,000 applications.
Jesus.
I mean, he was one of the very first ones that got all of his applications rejected, but
right.
there are people out there that registered like 60,000 SKUs. But the CTP has 1,000 employees.
And they have a
now,
blanket
Kevin,
denial form.
Now, I'm going to bring this up again, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
But you remember when I mentioned on this show that they were going to use a software application to find a fatal flaw in the process and all of the applications and mass reject applications?
Some sort of way, yeah, I do.
And then somebody said to me that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
And then
what happened? The FDA found a fatal flaw and mass rejected everybody's applications. I'm just saying.
Quickly.
I was a year ahead. I did that show a year ahead.
Yeah.
So when I tweeted that PAVE was obtuse if they thought that JUUL didn't have this already planned out and didn't already have their fucking legal briefs ready to go, and less than 10 hours later, they got their stay. Yeah. Now it's probably a little bit more than 10 hours, but yet,
well,
less than 24.
I suggested a long time ago that those ladies should not tweet and drink at the same time. But now I kind of rethought that. I think they should. I think they should drink while
they're
they
very
tweet.
Entertaining.
I really do. I miss Aaron. Aaron blocks me.
Steve says that FDA used to buy it.
Yes.
Yes,
They use multiple bots.
Keyword search, bitches. What is not here?
When you see Hootsuite at the very bottom of a tweet, that's a bot. It may be a predetermined tweet, but it's still something putting it out for them.
Yeah, but they
Hootsuite,
demanded that everybody's applications were submitted in a certain format, right?
Certain way,
so that they could do keyword searches.
Yep.
So that everything was formatted in the same way, so that they could do that. They used a software application to do keyword searches in all of the applications, so that they could rapidly get rid of the chaff.
What's gonna happen with Dick and Bob? Is Dick gonna smack Bob in the mouth for letting JUUL get the stay, or is Bob out of the heat for now from Dick?
What'd you say?
Dick. Well, see, Bob went to see Dick. I don't know if he was called or if he was invited. And Durban, Dick, I like to call him Dick. Dick smacked Bob around saying, "You don't know what the hell you're doing. Take him off the market." And then he said, "Hey, they're off the fucking market." And then JUUL went to court and went, "Hey, I don't like this." And then the judge said, "Let's leave him on there." So is Dick going to call him back and smack him again? Because I think it'd be fun just to watch Bob get smacked around by Dick. That's actually my final thought. I hope Bob gets smacked around by Dick.
You're putting way too many Dick images and being smacked.
Poor Bob. I mean, Caliph.
Is he gonna smack him in the dick, or
I don't know if it's using his. I don't know. I'm not. I wasn't at the meeting.
That you're either talking about somebody getting a mushroom tattoo.
Listen, Bob went to see Dick somewhere, and Dick said, "Hey, I want them off the market."
I think it was Kushar Mertri.
Oh, it was Raja. I thought it was Dick.
Raja.
I thought Dick had the tweet. Maybe I'm wrong. I may be wrong. Either way,
they if you think about it, poor Bob.
Dick. Yeah, Bob. Poor fucking Bob.
Took the job that he was already getting. He got grief the entire time he was at the FDA under Obama.
He said, "I can handle it."
Vaping was. They were on his ass about vape. He received multiple letters from Congress.
Thank you, Troop. Thank you, sir. Troop got it.
I did get it, and I was trying not to play into your
stupidity,
immature homosexual joking.
Oh no, no homosexual innuendo.
You're talking about bobbing and dicking. And
I just want to know answers. That's what I want.
And mushroom tattoos. I
mushroom tattoos. Oh, I didn't get that earlier. It's hot in here.
You're thinking about it now, so you're having a hot flash. You're all verklempt now because you're.
I actually tweeted it, Bob, and I think I said, "Damn, Bob, are you okay?" or something like that earlier because he's getting his ass chewed now. People are just ripping him up.
See, here's the thing: the judge, whose job it is to
uphold the law,
to interpret the law. Doesn't care that Durbin has an emotional argument. That it's like the Supreme Court. Roe v. Wade was settled law based on the arguments that were made when that case was tried.
At that time, right.
At that time. Yeah. So now somebody had a challenge using a different argument that was not made before that actually made sense to some of these judges. So the whole thing is the Constitution is not the same thing as a legal decision.
Yeah.
So when a decision is made by even the Supreme Court, it does not become law.
Right.
It becomes an interpretation of the law until a different interpretation becomes case law, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing with this. This is where it is. We are a tobacco product because the last case that was done.
Yep.
That's what the judge said is you and he didn't even say vaping is a tobacco product. What he said is FDA, you can try to regulate this as a vape or as a tobacco product. And nobody sued the FDA at that point. When FDA deemed that we were tobacco,
yep.
Nobody sued FDA to say we challenge your deeming.
Because of the drug initiation, right? Is that why?
I think nobody had the money.
Oh well, okay. We'll go with money then.
Nobody had the money to sue the FDA again.
I mentioned that
the two companies that were in the original Cetera case, Cetera was not an original company on the, that was Indoor Smokers and another company, and both of those companies went out of business during the case. Right before that happened, Cetera signed on as a third complainant on that case. Then the other two went out of business, and Cetera was the last one standing, which is Enjoy. Enjoy is Cetera.
Yeah.
So after that happened, when the deeming happened, I don't know why, nobody had any fucking money, or the people that did have the fucking money were not going to spend it.
They were doing this.
He said, that's my fucking money. I'm not spending that money.
Look, there's
That's like when
there's a boat. There's a Maserati. That's what I heard.
I got a new sports car and these new $1,000 Air Jordans and stuff.
Are you still awake, Costello? Are you out of probation again? Jeez.
So yeah,
these old people come.
Two Stone Vaping, they could have made a huge lawsuit happen, but no, the owner of that company decided he's keeping his money.
Yeah. It's good insight to ask you a silly question sometimes because it goes so much deeper than the answer ever could have been. That's why
I'm not even drinking, Kevin. I
That's
didn't.
why
I never
sometimes-
got up to go get the beer. I was going to go get a Yingling, and I never did.
This is why sometimes I almost like you. I'm right on the fence sometimes at it. I know. It's not easy.
It's crazy. I showed you an article that got y'all riled up.
You got me Jerry tonight. Golly.
Smoking everywhere. Yes, I said that. I can't remember the other company. Green Smoke.
Green Smoke. I remember hearing of them.
See, it just popped in my head. Yeah.
Look at you. Oh my God. Old people can do stuff sometimes.
It eventually happens. Hey,
Ed's over there, old man in cloud, just yelling.
Just to get you riled up again, Juuls weren't real vaping anyway, Kevin.
You fucking idiot. Whoever that is a fucking idiot.
I'm just saying.
And you can quote me if you like. Just the title on its own.
If you are anywhere near Los Angeles and you know where Studio City Vapors are and you know Michael
That's where
Kohanoff.
Chris should run down there real quick and ask him if they've got a chocolate.
It's like a 9-hour drive for him, dude. That's pretty hard.
He might be floating in and out of LA on occasion. You don't know. There might be a good chocolate factory up there.
No, there's nothing good. Dude, it's LA. There's nothing good there. Nothing.
All right. I've never been there. I don't want to go there.
I mean,
if I'm ever there, I'm going to stop at that place, though.
Nothing. I mean, back in the day, like, in the 80s, you could go to, like, see some good bands playing at the Whiskey A Go-Go or,
Mm-hmm.
But, no, it's not cool anymore. There's nothing worth a damn there. But if you're in LA and you want to go, shake somebody until they break, Michael Kohanoff is right there. I'm just...
Yeah. Oh, Mike, that hurts. That hurts me, and I'm just reading it. Yeah. So
that was
when I was a youngin', and it was a long, long damn time ago, according to Patrick. My father and I were driving along.
When the dinosaurs were roaming the earth.
Well, we had just got our first Flintstone car, and I'm driving Indiana or back or something, and I pulled out my cigarettes because I was allowed at that point. And he said, "Here, smoke a real man's cigarette," right? Because that's what you do, is you shame each other. It's fun. And that's what I see in that article is, here, smoke this instead. Do this instead. Stop telling people what the fuck to do. You don't know better. Let them do what they want to do.
Buy this 225 watt starter kit with
Because
a 16 core,
the same guy
backflipping dragon coil that you can vape at 200 watts. That's what you need as a first time vapor. That's the thing you need right there.
Because the same guy that said, "Here, smoke a real man's cigarette," would have been the same guy to walk in, buy that, go home, be frustrated, drive back, and shove it up somebody's ass. That's the guy you're trying to grab? Really?
Did your daddy shove stuff up your ass? What? That's wrong.
I actually saw him pull a guy across a Sears counter once. So he probably would have shoved something up somebody's ass. He just kind of picked him up and pulled him across and said, "You are going to fix that now." And they said, yes, sir. That was in Virginia, by the way, near Wheeling, West Virginia.
I know exactly where Wheeling, West Virginia is.
It was a Sears, wherever it was in West Virginia, somewhere in West Virginia. We were heading to
Virginia. That's where I was born.
Heading to Wheeling on the way. And Sears in Massachusetts had fucked it up, and that's where it got fucked up. And he said that they just fix it again. Because they told my dad he would have to wait until the next day. And he didn't find that acceptable.
Yeah.
Because it almost killed us. So anyway, yeah.
So your final thoughts were about mushroom tattoos and
my dad telling me to smoke a real man's cigarette. Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, grow hair on your chest, man.
And Bob and Dick, of course.
Hey,
yeah.
You will if you travel into other countries, Kevin.
Yeah.
You will think that that amazing whatever Real Man cigarette is that your dad got you.
Yeah.
Was
Rally.
the best thing in the world when you, especially if you go to Eastern Europe and you buy cigarettes
Really?
that have green tobacco in them.
Ooh, really?
Some of the harshest, nastiest cigarettes I ever smoked. I bought in Tallinn, Russia, and they still had. Well, it was at the time it was the Soviet Union. It was not Russia.
All right.
The nastiest thing I ever smoked in my entire life.
Hey! You didn't show a tweet before you go. Your final thought should be that tweet.
Well,
hang on. I got 15 different openings here.
Wait, no, but if you open too much shit, it makes your computer robot.
I know.
Let's see. I did the smack. I did this one.
Keep going.
Talked about that.
You got a whole bunch of people in the tweet.
There's Jerry.
It's Jeffrey's
Caleb.
tweet. Jeffrey's tweet.
Oh, that one. Yes, I need to show that one because I made fun of Charlie.
That and that Dr. Rodu had the something award.
I don't care about people getting awards. That's
these I can't see it because
from now on I will not honor any attaboys until we've kicked their asses. I'm tired of all these attaboys. So Jeffrey, our friend, has been on the show.
A whole bunch of beautiful
35 consumer organizations from all over the world sharing the same goal to save 1 billion lives by providing harm reduction alternatives for adults. GFN 22, Inco.org, Chauncey Gardner, GFN Nicotine, KDP _ Inco, and Attican Befritz. So there's a photo of all these people. Let's see if I can identify at least some of these people. So there's Charlie.
I see the Zillatron man.
There's our very good friend. Where's Norbert? This is banked. This is
I can't see. He's to the right, facing
there's Sam Rat.
Yep, to the right of Dr. Gardner, I believe,
there's,
with the hat.
What's this guy's name? He's from Indonesia.
Yeah, I think Norbert, I believe, is literally to Charlie's left, the first guy to the left with the hat. Yep.
I've never seen Norbert in a hat. I don't know.
And Chuck is in the room and met Dr. Rodu.
Sam Rat is there.
Yeah. I do not recognize everyone because not everyone has their face on their pages.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at the people that we've actually had on the show.
Where's Chugga? Is Chugga in there?
Chugga is not in this picture.
I don't see Dr. Glover either.
Nope.
They may have done it after or whatever, but
or before they got there.
A whole damn bunch of Lindsay.
Yeah, that's Asa right there.
Okay.
Sally Gupta. All right.
Is Lindsay in there?
No, Lindsay's not there, and Amanda's not there.
I can't see him. A bunch of beautiful people. Not all were there, evidently, but there's a bunch of beautiful people that were there.
Yeah, these are all the Inco orgs, I think.
Okay.
That's what this is. These are all the
okay,
Inco, the members of Inco that are
not the attendees. This is Inco. Okay. All right, I got you.
Yeah. And this is Joseph Magera back there.
Yep. I do see him now that you pointed it.
Now that I pointed at him.
I stuck it in the chat.
This is banked back here. From Sting Free Snooze.
Yep.
Yes.
And Clive was there, so he's not in there either, I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
no, this is all the red vests. These are all the red vests. So let's see.
I would love to have been a glass on that table, Chugga. I would.
So Charlie says, "Do I really look that fat?"
I don't think he looks fat, but I didn't really look to see if he was.
And then Philip says that he looks marvelous, and he says I look pregnant, which should be strange for several reasons.
That's normal.
And then I had to reply, how many months along are you? And do you know who the father is?
Something slipped in my drawer. Oh, we've gone downhill.
So he says that it was either St. Pauli or Blue Moon, and I said I thought you were sort of a Stella Artois.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Stella Artois is an awesome Belgian beer. It's one of my favorite beers. He says I was thinking Molson or a Brador. And then there was somebody mentioned Rolling Rock, which used to be made in Pennsylvania, but is now made in Jersey. So he says, why would you gentlemen imagine I like having sex in a canoe?
He looks like a boater. I could see that.
So,
whatever that means.
So all of us are having fun.
Wow.
All of us are having fun. I would have loved to have gone to hung up with our friends, but it absolutely was not possible. Absolutely was not be possible.
Thank you, Bruni. Believe me.
But
we can't do it without you. We'd do it, but we wouldn't do it without you.
When they go to Panama,
yeah,
that has to be doable.
For
I might have to do the Mr. T A-team thing. Every time they had to get him to fly, they had to drug him. we may have to get you some ketamine and put you on the plane.
That'd be me. Yeah. You mean me?
I pity the fool. Yeah, well, I think we'll just have to give you some ketamine and get you knocked out on the plane.
Dave said, let's go to Australia a couple years ago. I'm like, bullshit. That boat ain't going to get there for like 15 days or something.
Why are you so chicken shit about planes?
Pre 9/11. I hopped a plane when I was 18. I went to Mass. I stopped in somewhere near you in Pennsylvania. Who fucking knows? And then I got to Logan Airport.
When you were 18, I was not anywhere near Pennsylvania.
And then
I was just a glimmer. I was just a glimmer in my mommy's.
Yeah, you think? And then for work, I flew to DC, and I drove home, and that was like February of 01, and then 9/11 happened. It was pre. I like to clarify that for everybody. Well, no, I don't like flying. I don't know.
You're a chicken shit.
I'm a flying phoba or whatever you call it. Yeah, I'm a chicken shit. That's fine. I don't like needles either, but I really don't like flying. So I like to drive. I love to drive. And that's okay. Spotted. My final thoughts are keep rolling at these bastards. That's it. And last week was not my fault.
I think we have to be completely realistic about this situation. If JUUL's application can get MDO'd,
yeah,
and they submitted a 100,000+ page document,
let's pretend
and they have the money to hire all of the best scientists in the world, what makes anybody think that we're going to get a fair shake?
Right. Is that going to be the selective enforcement that they are going to speak of eventually? Maybe.
No, there will be an end.
Yeah.
To selective enforcement.
Yeah, of course there will, because somebody's going to come in and go, I don't like this. And that's what
there will be an end to selective enforcement, and it will be sooner rather than later.
This is what you get. That's it.
Because Judge Grimm is not going to let it fly forever.
Right. Yeah, one of us is going to pay.
if you actually read his responses, like he was already pretty angry to begin with. I think his grandkid got caught vaping or something, because he, like, from the very onset of this case, he was very, very aggressive towards FDA. He was extremely aggressive towards the vaping industry itself, that we were immature and childish and unprofessional.
Well,
which is not
that could be
not true.
Shown. That could be shown.
It is definitely accurate.
It can be shown.
And even, you know, I'm not gonna blow smoke up anybody's asses. That's why we've been flying the pirate flag for as long as we've been flying the pirate flag.
Yeah.
We will not give up, and we will not leave any, you know, we're gonna, no Marine left behind, no smoker left behind.
No.
At some point, I'm gonna get to the point where I'm doling out the nicotine that I have here, and people that are already vapors are going to be left behind, so that I can save smokers.
And I have to add to that, for the record, Janice is deciding on about, I think it's 8 bottles, styles, whatever, flavors. So I'm going to have a good amount of different style flavors. Just pay the shipping, I guess, because I don't know, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a package in the mail today from a friend who is in the industry. I, you know, because he's a, you know, I have a very good friend who sent me some stuff to test
That's how it should
out.
be. That's exactly how it should work.
And I'm currently doing a butterscotch cream cake that is quite good.
Good.
I said I need a non-tobacco flavor. I've been vaping tobacco for 18 months straight. I need a palate cleanser, and I got a little gift package in the mail. And butterscotch cream cake was what I tried.
Yeah, I've got, in my head, 2 guys in Australia. One guy didn't know the other guy. Now they do, and we'll leave it at that. But if the one guy needed something,
we know tons of people in Australia.
We both know him. We both know both of them. And what I said to the one of them was, if you can't get something and I can get it because you can't, tell me how to send it. I'll send it. I don't care. That was quite a few years ago. But
yeah, I mean, our friend in Australia has every flavor known to man.
Exactly. So, and then he can make more. He can just go, hang on a minute, dickhead. I'll be right back. And then he'll just go wicka, and then he'll come back and go, here, try that. That's like magic.
And you know,
I'm expecting an LOL.
He's not here anymore. Tic Tac left. Tic Tac left. He's not our friend anymore. He doesn't hang out with us anymore.
Yeah, I know.
We burn bridges, Kevin. But anyway, we love you. We appreciate the time that you give us every Friday night, except on wedding anniversaries. And when, you know, Kevin likes to forget that he's not going to be in town until the very last minute.
Oh, like a wedding anniversary the night before? That's yeah.
Hey, at least I remembered the night before, dude. I was like, oh shit, I got married like 10 years ago today. I better tomorrow. Right. I better cancel this shit before
10 years. You've been married 10 years?
Huh?
How long have you been married?
12 years.
Okay. I'm just checking. I didn't know.
I had to do quick math in my head.
All I know is if she's ever going to listen, she might want to listen to that. 12 years.
She doesn't even remember my birthday half the time, so it'll be all right.
Janice doesn't know the other day, we've been married 30 February. The other day, I said, Dustin's 28, right? So I said something about, hey, listen, you've been lucky for 30 years. Don't you watch your mouth. And she said, no, it's been 20. She was serious.
It's sad that she was being more accurate than you.
She's trying to forget.
I would too.
You have to laugh, Patrick.
That's a traumatizing memory. But anyway, love you. We'll see you in 7 days unless something shitty happens and we're all dead. But I'm gonna leave with the long outro tonight. We're gonna play the vape madness in its entirety. Love you. Be good. We'll see you later. Bye.
Must be stopped. You and all other school parent groups about the country, and you must stand united on this and stamp out this frightful assassin of our youth.
Recipe for disaster that's fueling outright addiction. Look what they're trying to do. All the delicious flavors of e-cigarettes are poison. Today, right now, it would appear the wildfire of e-cig use among teenagers, high schoolers, middle schoolers, has not let up.
Just think if your kid was doing this and winds up with an IQ 10 or 15 points lower than he or she would have had.
They shouldn't be experimenting with the entire American public. What we know is these products are addicting millions of kids.
Dr. Carroll, as principal of the Lakeside High School,